trying to bring me down. Enemies lurking, but I won't back away. Got a vision in my mind, I'm here to stay. Got my crew beside me, we rise like a tide. When the storm gets rough, we ain't gonna hide. Rock and get us swilling, but it won't touch me. Only love around us, how it's gonna be. Keep moving forward, never looking back. The truth's in the power, it's an unstoppable track. In the city lights where dreams collide, we hustle through the night, fire in our stride. Whispers in the dark can't dim my glow. With rhythm in my soul, I'm ready for the show. We break the chains, rewrite the rules. In this concrete jungle where nobody's fools. Unity sings louder than the lies they scheme. In the heart of the struggle, we dare to dream. Keep moving forward, never looking back. The truth's in the power, it's an unstoppable track.
Another Queen Ahmadiyyah production.
Haze on the corner, they talking real loud. Spreading no light, trying to bring me down. Enemies lurking, but I won't back away. Got a vision in my mind, I'm here to stay. Got my crew beside me, we rise like a tide. When the storm gets rough, we ain't gonna hide. Rock and get us swilling, but it won't touch me. Only love around us, how it's gonna be. Keep moving forward, never looking back. The truth's in the power, it's an unstoppable track. In the city lights where dreams collide, we hustle through the night, fire in our stride. Whispers in the dark can't dim my glow. With rhythm in my soul, I'm ready for the show. We break the chains, rewrite the rules. In this concrete jungle where nobody's fools. Unity sings louder than the lies they scheme. In the heart of the struggle, we dare to dream. Keep moving forward, never looking back. The truth's in the power, it's an unstoppable track. Haze on the corner, they talking real loud. Spreading no light, trying to bring me down. Enemies lurking, but I won't back away. Got a vision in my mind, I'm here to stay. Got my crew beside me, we rise like a tide. When the storm gets rough, we ain't gonna hide. Rock and get us swilling, but it won't touch me. Only love around us, how it's gonna be. Keep moving forward, never looking back. The truth's in the power, it's an unstoppable track. In the city lights where dreams collide, we hustle through the night, fire in our stride. Whispers in the dark can't dim my glow. With rhythm in my soul, I'm ready for the show. We break the chains, rewrite the rules. In this concrete jungle where nobody's fools. Unity sings louder than the lies they scheme. In the heart of the struggle, we dare.
All right. Hello, everyone. Grand Rising. Thanks for tuning back in once again to the original Queen Ahmadiyyah Shakur show. I'm your host, Queen Ahmadiyyah Shakur, and this is your morning wake-up call. So as you're coming in, please feel free to go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Be sure to click that notification bell and click the word all so you're notified each time the Queen Goddess goes live. Okay, so let's get ready to get into it. All right, hello, Pearly, Juju B, Danny Joe is here, Jago the Rogue. All right, let's get into it. Vince, I am from the UK, Queen Sam Leon. All right. Okay, Buckhorse DC, Sheila is here. All right. KQ is in the virtual building. Okay, Benny B is here. All right, let's get into it. Chris B, I see you, beloved. Everyone, please hit the like button. I see you, 27DD. Everyone hit that like button, like, share, subscribe if you haven't done so already. Okay, before we get started, let's have a brief word from my sponsor at 12 Tribes. Hey, Candy Girl and Queen Sam, here we go.
Do not buy 12 Tribes on Earth hair growth oil and hair magic elixir unless you want super healthy, gorgeous hair that grows. They have a whole line of amazing hair growth products, including hair growth leave-in conditioner spray, hair growth shampoo, hair growth spray, and hair growth butter. I'm starting to sense a theme here. They include quality natural ingredients. They smell amazing, and you can see the results for yourself. So if you're looking for healthy hair growth for your natural or relaxed hair, try 12 Tribes on Earth today.
All right. So don't forget you can purchase 12 Tribes hair oil at Etsy.com. Just look for Lisa Crafts. You can also find her products at Walmart.com. And don't forget that she sells beard oil. Okay, so before we get started, let's talk about these war updates really quick. Um, Now, there are some unconfirmed reports that came out on July the 4th that have emerged from the Lebanon Valley, okay, suggesting that 22 is not real officers, okay, were killed and an entire IDF battalion destroyed in a single Hezbollah ambush lasting under 40 minutes. Okay, now this is what they're saying. Now, as I said, they claim this has not been confirmed. But also, Iran has come out and basically they're upset about threats that have been made, okay, about their leaders and all of that. And then they had the funeral for Khamenei just the other day, and so many people showed up, and Trump was clearly shocked and in awe. He couldn't believe it. I don't know what he was thinking. Okay, I don't know what he was thinking, and he thought everybody hated this man, but clearly not, because he himself has martyred him. Okay, the man was 80 something years old. I believe he was 86, already sick and dying from cancer. And then, they just turned him into a whole martyr. Okay. And so with that all being said, moving right along, uh, so they say on, let me see here. Hold on, beloveds. Okay, so let's talk about Trump, because he's been out here hating on Obama again as usual. But first, let's go to his lies. Okay, that he's always telling the crowd. This is what he's talking about for that little shindig he had just days ago. The one where everybody was passing out from heat strokes and they had to shut it down. The crowd at 7:05 in the evening was 422,000 people. Do y'all hear this? Now, y'all know this is a whole lot. We saw so many videos, and it was just scarcely 15,000, 10 to 15,000 people even there, let alone 422,000. He goes on to say all were forced to leave because of the weather. The event was canceled and everyone was gone because of lightning. When I heard that it was canceled, I immediately overturned that decision and waited a while for people to come back. Incredibly, at least 150,000 people returned. Yeah, right. Okay. There was never that many people there, I promise you. And it was an even more spectacular evening than it would have been as normalized. Now, it showed work under pressure. Congratulations to the Secret Service and law enforcement on being able to get so many people back into the arena in such rapid fashion. It was an amazing evening, made even more spectacular by the fact that immediately after the great fireworks ended, the rains came down full blast. President Donald J. Trump. Do y'all hear this? Do y'all hear this? This is y'all's president. Daddy Joe said more like a shit dig. I know, right? But get along to this. Okay, because never one to disappoint. He always has to let us know just how envious he is of President Obama. Okay, I mean, please make it all make sense. Now, he shared this. I guess he's trying to imply that they're ghetto, because look at it. That's supposed to be Air Force One, okay, with graffiti sprayed on it saying, "Yes, we can," which of course was Obama's catchphrase when he was running for president, okay, the first election. And then they have BLM and Obama, okay. Now, I know Trump is not even trying to call anyone ghetto, especially when he's got all that gold all over the darn White House. And then you had a whole uh wrestling events on the front lawn, and now a fair. And then let's not forget about the reflection pool that's now filled with algae after he spent 16 million plus dollars to get it fixed. Okay. But anyway, let's continue, because here's what they report. Trump shares fake Obama image with Arabic Black Lives Matter and graffiti. Okay, President Donald Trump has a years long record of intensely personal criticism of the Obamas and of using incendiary, sometimes racist rhetoric. Absolutely. Now, President Donald Trump on Sunday posted a falsified image of former President Barack Obama and his wife Michelle Obama, waving before boarding an Air Force One that had been spray painted with graffiti. It came months after another racist post by the president that showed the couple as primates in a jungle. That one was deleted after stiff bipartisan backlash. Now, and of course, he never apologized for it. Then he lied and acted as though he didn't know how to get there and said that he didn't do it. Okay, please pay attention. He absolutely did it. Who else is posting things from his own account? Now, the latest image shows the Obama smiling and waving at the top of the stairs alongside a baby blue and white presidential plane with graffiti painted on it that included the Democrats' campaign slogan, "Yes, we can," Obama and BLM, short for Black Lives Matter. Now, the post also shows graffiti in Arabic on the plane that says the phrase, Alhamdulillah, which means praise be to God or thank God. Now, the use of graffiti is a coded message to remind people of crime and urban decay and has been used in racist messaging against Black people in the past. Trump has a years-long record of intensely personal criticism of the Obamas and of using incendiary, sometimes racist rhetoric. Now, that includes everything from feeding that lie that Obama was not born in the United States to crude generalizations about majority Black countries and posts that have sparked anger on his Truth Social website. But see, some of y'all want to sit up here and act like Trump isn't racist. Some Black people want to sit up here and act like this man isn't a whole racist devil. But of course he is. Keep lying to yourself and see where it gets you. Okay? Goes on to say, the president's racist post of the Obamas as primates came in February during the first week of Black History Month. It was removed following widespread criticism from civil rights leaders and Republican senators. Trump refused to apologize, however, and a staffer was later blamed for making the post. Now, they never told us who that staffer was, did they? Or brought the person out front so we could see them, because it was Trump, please. Now, this time, the presidential plane is a sensitive topic since Trump last week took his maiden voyage on a new Air Force One, okay, a retrofitted Boeing 747 800 worth $400 million gifted by Qatar. The aircraft's trademark light blue hull that helped Air Force One blend into the sky was replaced with Trump's preferred color scheme, a navy blue belly with red and gold stripes. Now, after giving a speech on the National Mall in Washington to mark Independence Day and the 250th anniversary of the signing of the Declaration of Independence on Saturday night, Trump had no public events on Sunday and spent the day at his golf club in Virginia. He's set to leave Monday for Turkey to attend a summit with NATO allies. Now, the White House did not immediately respond to a message seeking comment, nor did a spokeswoman for the Obamas. Now, Sunday's post also followed one from last month when Trump shared a doctored image of Obama's new presidential library in Chicago, so that it looked like the building had a large bag of garbage on top and was surrounded by a wasteland. He is so jealous. It is really sad. Okay, the Obama Library 10 years from now will be a mecca for those who hate America. President DJT, this is what he wrote. Okay, Trump has frequently criticized the Obama Library in public comments, and he posted the library image twice on his social media platform. The Air Force One image was part of a series of Sunday posts that Trump made on Truth Social, including a past picture that appeared to show Italian Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni grinning and gazing upward at Trump under the words "restraining order needed." This is all a mess. Okay, so anyway, Trump needs a restraining order. Okay, there needs to be a restraining order put on him so that he can keep President Obama's name out of his mouth. Okay, why is he so upset? Why is he so upset? I have several questions. Okay, let's get into it. Beloveds, like so everyone, please like and share. Okay, here we go. I was looking for one more update for you all before I get started. Now, here's the thing. Iranian officials have rejected U.S. and Isn't Real's demands to end uranium enrichment. So, for example, the head of Iran's Atomic Energy Organization said Iran would not accept restrictions on its enrichment program, calling such demands unrealistic. And see, here's the thing. Though they did before with President Obama, they're likely not going to want to do that again because look how they're being attacked. And this all came from out of nowhere after they were already talking about peace. And then Trump backdoors them and goes on and does this. So do they really want to not have nuclear capability when everyone else does, specifically Satan Yahoo? So Iranian leaders have also warned they would respond forcefully to any new It's Not Real attack. On July the 1st, Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi said Iran would deliver an immediate and powerful response to any threats against the country or its leadership. Okay, and then, there was a report the other day that came out saying that they had planned, Satan Yahoo and them had planned to take out some of the Iranian leaders when they're supposed to be negotiating or whatnot, and then said that the U.S. warned them. Okay, so I'm sure Satan Yahoo isn't so happy about that, if true. So anyway, goes on to say, so basically, Iranian officials have threatened military retaliation if It's Not Real attacks Iran again, and they're not playing any games. Okay, they're over it at this point. And then, like I told you all before, why does Trump sit up there and think that he can act as though he's having peace negotiations, but at the same time threatening these people? Like, make that make sense. Okay, make that make sense. Makes none at all. Now, let's continue. Likes up, everyone, please like and share. So, we have to talk about this situation that happened, okay, at Walmart. Now, I know I reported this the other day when it first happened, but we got to talk about it because this is a trending topic. And I was listening to, I was reading some things on social media that were on Twitter or X, things that people posted on X and Facebook, and also what people were talking about. Hold on, Truth Brown said he got one foot in the grave. I know, right? And the other one on a roller skate. Okay, please pay attention. But so I was listening to a TikTok live last night when they were talking about the situation, right? So here's the thing. I noticed that the YT people, okay, I noticed that whenever this comes up, they have so many excuses as to why this Black woman should have just left. She should have just stayed in her car. When the fact of the matter is, you don't have a duty to retreat. And in fact, she still was retreating. She was backing up and backing away. Then they started telling lies. Now, they started saying things like, now, there's one of them will tell a lie. Here's how it works. One of them will tell a lie, and then other ones will agree with them to try to further, perpetuate the lie, as if that's going to make us more convinced because now more of them are saying it. But if you know the truth, you know the truth. Now, there was a lady that got up there saying that, in fact, that the lady said that when the guy was coming towards the woman, Bart de Guglielmo, when he was coming towards her, that he had his hands raised. That's what she said. She said he had his hands raised. Now, the reason she told that lie is because someone was saying that the woman didn't do anything that the police wouldn't do. And that's the same thing I've said. Okay, when the police have their gun drawn and they're telling a person who's advancing towards them to stop, back up, don't come any closer, put your hands up and don't come any closer, and they don't do it, we know they get shot. Okay, if they look like me. Now, if they're Caucasian, there may be a bit of negotiating. Okay, they may possibly get tased, but not often. But if it's who looks like me, they absolutely will get shot. And the officer will say that they fear for their lives. So why is it that this lady, they feel she can't say the same thing? So once that was said and brought to her attention, the lady, the Karen, then says, he did have his hands up. And they were like, no, he didn't. And she was like, yeah, at one point he had his hands up. And then so another lady chimes in, another Karen says, yeah, he had his hands up. And I'm like, I don't remember seeing his damn hands up. Does anyone remember seeing his hands up? So just so we can be clear about this, okay, I've got the footage. Okay, I believe I have like 3 videos. So we can see if in either of them he actually has his hands up. Now, I also want you to pay attention to the framing of the story and the difference in how they frame other stories. Okay, let's talk about it. Because when they reported this story, we'll go to the New York Post, because the New York Post is, in fact, a conservative publication. So they say, here's how they report it. Let me just share this on my screen. Florida woman fatally shoots Army veteran during a dispute over Walmart parking space. Now, they try to make it sound like, oh, she just shot him over a parking space and he's an Army vet and all of that. They didn't say anything about what she does or who she is. How do we know she wasn't an Army vet as well? Okay. And then they mentioned his age, that he was 62. Well, she doesn't look like she's a spring chicken. So she's probably not too much younger than him. Okay. So I find that interesting. Now, let's think back to when they talked about Daniel Penny. Okay, when they reported Daniel Penny, how did they report on him when that story first came out? New York City subway rider, 30 years old, dies after being put in a headlock during outburst on a train. That's what they said about Jordan Neely. I want you all to pay attention, because they were sure to include that he had an outburst to make it seem as though he were violent, to make it seem as though this person needed to put him in a headlock or something. But in fact, he was just talking loudly. Okay, and last time I checked, talking loud doesn't put anyone in any darn danger. Okay, so they can miss us with it. That was just one of the headlines from the New York Post. Okay, that was just one of them. Then there was another one that says, likes up, everyone, please like and share. Jason Whitlock had the nerve to say maybe he thought she was a man. Oh, he's so ignorant. He is really so ignorant. Okay, a whole raccoon. Okay, then another one said, shocking video shows New York City subway passenger putting unhinged man in deadly chokehold. Now I want you to pay attention. Now they call Jordan Neely unhinged. First he had an outburst, and now they describe him as unhinged. Okay? See, this is what they do. They do this to paint narratives. I think we've seen enough to get the gist of it. Okay? Now, before we get into that, let's go to this video uh, that this elderly white tea man did about Carmelo Anthony. What he has to say about that. There was no lies detected, and this is the same thing that we've already said ourselves.
Carmelo Anthony had been white, not only would he have not been convicted, there'd have never been charges. This is Old Texas Paul. Hope your coffee's as good as mine. Well, I hope it's better. I really do. Whole thing was a goddamn tragedy, and it was started by the kid that died. But if Carmelo Anthony had been white and the other kid had been black, these same people that are calling Carmelo Anthony a murderer would be celebrating him all over social media as standing up. Yeah. Young man, 14-year-old man by the name of Carmack Belton was his last name. Was chased down in South Carolina. Chased. The guy had to chase him and shot him in the back. Guy that shot him was white. Belton was black. That jury said self-defense because he was white. The only reason Carmelo Anthony was convicted was because we are a broken, fucking bigoted country, and Carmelo Anthony was black. Any other way you slice this, it would have been self-defense.
And that's just a fact, and they know it. Now, just like he can sit there and say that, the rest of them know it's the same truth as well. Okay, so now let's go to the footage. Let's go to the footage because, like I told you guys, the ladies said, two of these ladies said that they had their hand, he had his hands up. Okay, so let's go to the first clip. Likes up, everyone, please like and share. Thank you in advance.
A deadly confrontation in a Florida Walmart parking lot caught on camera. The Broward County Sheriff's Office says it all began with an argument over a parking space. This dash camera recording the moments leading up to the shooting. A man can be seen approaching a woman who appears to have a gun in one hand and a cell phone in the other. You can see her back away as the man walks toward her and follows her around a vehicle. She keeps her arm extended with what seems to be a weapon.
Now, mind you, she had the phone in her hand because she was on the phone with 911. Now, one of the Karens in that TikTok live lied and said she got out of her car after clearly the police on the police dispatcher told her not to. The people on the panel were like, how do you know what they told her on the phone? She says, oh, I read that she said she read it somewhere. So then they asked her for a source. Of course, she couldn't come up with the source because she didn't read that anywhere. She made it up. Just like they make up all these lies, like the lies they made up on Carmelo. Okay, saying things about Carmelo that were true of the Metcalfs. Okay, so please pay attention. And then, like I said, they go from TikTok live to TikTok live, where Black people are on panels having discussions, and they spew their lies, trying to paint a fictitious narrative. This is what they do. And we're going to listen to it in just a moment, but let's keep watching.
Second angle of the incident appears to show the woman telling him to walk away before firing a single shot. The man falls to the ground, bleeding near his stomach. The woman then sets the gun on the roof of the car and paces around him. A deputy arrives minutes later. The woman gestures to the weapon before he puts her hands behind her back.
There was police officers everywhere, and I did hear a woman screaming and crying.
The shooting happened midday on Tuesday. Authorities have not named the woman, who they say told investigators she fired in self-defense. They identified the man as 62-year-old Bart DeGuglielmo. He was taken to the hospital with a single gunshot wound, they add, where he later died. The sheriff's office says once its investigation is complete, prosecutors will decide whether to file criminal charges in this deadly parking lot dispute. Aaron Gilchrist, NBC News.
The promise of AI that works.
I hate it for him, but he brought that on himself, because why did he keep coming towards her? Okay, and then he was walking toward her very aggressively at one point. Okay, he never had his hands up. Let's go to the next video. See if he had his hands up in this one. Okay, this man did not have his hands up, and he was coming toward her like, I don't even see how they can even fix their mouths to make an argument or a debate. Okay, I don't even know how they can how they can even call themselves trying to make an argument or a debate, like I said. Because it is a clear-cut case of self-defense, in my opinion.
For a parking spot. Here's Rhiannon Alley.
Tonight, this confrontation over a parking space turning deadly outside a Walmart in Florida, leaving 62-year-old Bart DeGuglielmo on the ground, dying of a gunshot wound.
Female shot someone outside in the parking lot. Both out there were fighting over a parking spot.
An eyewitness telling ABC News it all started 5 minutes earlier with the two drivers yelling at each other through open windows. The man then parked his car, partially blocking the spot, and walked into the store. The witness says the woman managed to slip into the spot anyway. He came out, moved his car, and walked off for a cigarette. The woman is seen getting out of her car, phone in one hand, gun in the other. The witness says a person in the white car tells her the man is waiting nearby. He's seen walking towards her as she points the gun at him. He then follows her around a car. Now,
I want you all to pay attention, because the person who was in that white vehicle told her that the man was coming back. And then they got the H up out of there. As you can see, they drove away because they didn't want any parts of it, clearly, because they likely knew he was aggressive and coming to start mess. Now, the Karens, what you'll likely hear them say when I go to the TikTok live is one of them was basically talking about, she sat in her car and waited for him to come out of the store, for him to come out of Walmart. So basically trying to act like it was premeditated. Oh, she sat in her car. She could have just driven off. She could have left. First of all, she didn't have a duty to retreat. And second of all, if she was sitting in her car, what makes her think that she was waiting on him? Okay, where did she get that from? Like I said, they make up BS. Okay, this is what they do.
A witness says the woman repeatedly warned him she'll shoot if he keeps coming at her. He appears to leave, but then returns and she opens fire. Police say the woman claims she acted in self-defense.
The way that Stand Your Ground has evolved in Florida, you're entitled to use deadly force if you believe that you're defending yourself or your property from deadly force or a forcible felony.
David, tonight that woman is no longer in custody. The shooting is now under investigation, and prosecutors will decide whether charges will be filed.
All I can say is you better be glad someone recorded that, because they would be lying. Okay, they would have her in jail right now as we speak. Okay, this is exactly what they would do. All right, so now with that all being said, let's get into it. Let's get into it. I'm going to put this up here. This is an hour and 20 minutes. We're going to go through it. And this is the TikTok live. It was way longer than this, honey. This is just parts that I decided to record. Okay, let's get into it. Likes up, everyone, please. Like and share. Thank you.
That's terrible.
That
is terrible.
It's like literally, we are literally treated less than.
Hold on, beloveds. I forgot to tell you all that Kyle Rittenhouse had something to say about it. Now, he deleted this post, but this is what he said. He said, PSA, self-defense isn't, I was told to leave, so I stabbed him, or he took my parking spot, so I shot him. Your life must be in actual imminent danger. Anything less is murder. Why do so many people not understand this? He needs to shut the hell up, okay? Because I know he's not talking. All right, now he got away with claiming self-defense after killing 2 people and injuring a third, okay, somewhere with an illegal gun that he wasn't even supposed to have on him, mind you, that he took across county lines, state lines, but he has the nerve to talk. He got away with it because of his complexion, because the judge was a good old boy and gave him Southern fried justice. But let's continue.
By everyone. It is so unfortunate, our women. It's like we cannot defend ourselves, that anyone has the right to treat us like anything. Anyone has the right. Even though we express, walk away, leave me alone, they have the audacity to still approach us. Like, we have no protection in this country. We have no protection. And the audacity to say that this woman was the aggressor is, I'm just flabbergasted at this. I really am. It's definitely textbook self-defense 101, as I stated, but knowing how the system is set up, they're not going to give it to her. And I land my plane.
Thank you, Devon, for your perspective. Experience. Another moderator in the building. Welcome. What's going on? What's your thoughts?
I saw the video, and this case is rolling out like the Carmelo case. It's like we get little, headlines, and then we get, some information. But I do think they're going to charge her, and the reason why is because Black Americans are not allowed to unalive YT America without charges. That's not something that you guys could do. That's sort of crossing the line of white supremacy in America, right? So they also don't want to give us any type of inclination that we can unalive YT people for any reason. So I think they are going to charge her. They're going to make her prove her innocence. It's not going to be freely given like it is to YT America. So, unfortunate, we're not protected at all under the law in America. So, I don't expect it. I don't expect us to get treated fairly, because I know that the racism is embedded into these systems. We're never, unless there is some type of revolution or something, I don't know how we get racism out of the criminal justice system, especially in America. And it is disheartening, but unfortunately, this is the system in America that we live under in our land there.
Appreciate that experience. I hear it. Hokage. I know you've been up here before, so I don't have to go with the preliminary stuff. We just dive into it. What's your thoughts? Thank you, Gigi.
Right.
What's your thoughts?
Right. You keep calling me Hokage, bro. It's Hokage.
Oh, Hokage. Okay, yeah.
Thank you.
I gotta remember, man. Yeah, Hokage.
I know.
My bad. Go ahead.
So I look at it like this, right? Sorry, it's raining outside, and it's definitely coming down out here. But I look at it like there's no way she's going to get her justice. And to be honest with you, she is wrong. Like, yeah, she retreated 3 times. I get it. I do understand that. But still, when you put the weapon into the mix, now you become the aggressor.
Now, I want you all to pay attention because he clearly said that she is wrong. When you put the weapon into the mix, you become the aggressor. He sounds obtuse. How do you become an aggressor because you pick up a weapon to defend yourself when you feel the need is necessary? But let's continue.
You get that Florida is a stand your ground state, you know? You don't have to retreat. But seriously, when do we value human life? When do we say that another human's life matters? That's going to be her problem.
He sounds real crazy because here's the thing. Why isn't he asking the same of the man who lost his life, the man who is advancing towards her with the aggression? Why isn't he saying that possibly this man was coming to try to do something to harm her? He's acting like that man was just walking up to shake her hand. Okay, he's talking about when are we going to value human life? How the hell does he know that the guy was valuing her life? Clearly, she didn't think that he was, and I don't either, because any person walking up to someone who's got a gun drawn and their arm extended, and they're telling you to back away, to keep back, and they're backing up from you, why would you keep coming toward them? You must want some trouble. And that's what he got.
She's going to get charged. I hope she don't go to jail. But yeah, she's going to get booked in, bro. Like, easy work. She hit him once to the body. Yup, drop it. But she never had to do that. She could have gotten her car and left.
And he could have never walked toward her in the first place and gotten his damn car and left. These raccoons are something else.
Did she have a duty to get in her car and leave?
No, I'm not saying that she did. I'm just saying she could have.
Well, let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. I just want to dive into it, right? But how? So legally, what's the charge? What's the charge going to end up being?
I don't know if I can say it on your live.
No, well, you can't say the regular way, but you gotta, just do the TikTok way.
MS, easily.
Okay, and explain, like explain that to me. Break it down. How are they gonna be able to prove his MS?
Well, give me 1 second.
Okay.
God darn it.
Okay, so listen, so real quick, hold on. Hey, Kodo. Now see, here's the thing, right? I let people speak freely in the comments when it comes to just voicing your opinion about stuff, but you're not gonna be saying anything like that. Anything to do with threats of violence or anything like that is a wrap, right? Keep that to yourself. Keep that to yourself, or you'll be blocked from the room. You understand what I'm saying? Anything else, as far as I feel this way, I feel that way. She was this and that, whatever people want to do. Anything to do with threats, you got to get blocked. As a matter of fact, Wait, what?
Yeah,
What was that
he's
name?
Kodo, Kodo.
I got him.
You already got him?
I just was on his
Can you
let me see.
you able to you still have him or not?
Hold on. I was literally just on his profile.
Now, some MAGA type thug was in there leaving threats. Okay, I hope they screenshot it and report his behind.
And I clicked out of it. No, I think he didn't. Wait.
A lot of people want to say disproportional force, right? Because he's a man and she's a woman. All right, I can see that. But where is equality don't come in at? We don't know what that man was going to do because that man never got an opportunity to do that.
So she was supposed to stand there and let him get the opportunity to do whatever he was going to do? What if he was going to try to disarm her and then turn the weapon on her? What if he was going to punch her in her face like that guy did the black woman in Texas over that parking space that time? Do y'all remember? And here's the thing. These things may be trivial things to get into a confrontation about, but it isn't the black people that get into confrontations about these things. It is them coming to black people with the BS. Okay, so when they want to minimize something and say, oh, they were arguing over parking space, well, who started it over parking space? He did. Okay, just like that thug in Florida who pistol whipped that black woman. And then they had the nerve to charge him with a misdemeanor until there was a bunch of hell being raised by the people in the community. Then they upped the ante and made it a felony. Like, get real. They act like we're not supposed to protect and defend ourselves against them. Okay, but keep listening because Karen came in here and said that she hates stand your ground. Since when do white tea people hate stand your ground? They love it. Okay, only when it's for them.
Just because she's in her fields doesn't make sure it doesn't make it that she's right.
Yeah, but we got Hokage, but we gotta leave feelings out of it though, right? What I'm asking you, we gotta leave feelings out of it. What I'm saying is, you said you think she should be charged, and you said it should be MS. So I'm saying is like, right? So we're talking about the law now. I'm saying, how do they bear that out? How would they, right, prove that this is what it was? In other words, I just need you to walk me through how do we get to this point? How are they gonna win that?
Because she was armed and he wasn't.
Okay, so but she had the right to she had the right to be armed now.
Right, she did, but she was armed and he wasn't.
That doesn't matter.
Also, I'm trying to explain.
Go ahead.
That she also could have gotten her car and left.
She had no duty to retreat.
She could have gotten her car and left. But
yeah, even though she did, but Hokage, even though she did clearly back up and retreat multiple times and warn him to stay back, she had no duty to retreat. Right? She had no duty to retreat. You're talking about getting in the car and like trying to swerve off or what? She had no duty to do any of that. But she did let him know.
Swerve off. No,
drive off, whatever you want.
If she's right, that means that I could walk down the street and I could be armed. And a person could jaywalk. And I could say to them, you didn't cross at the sidewalk, right?
What?
You need to get back and cross at the sidewalk.
Can I say something, brother?
Wait.
Hold on, Coach.
Coach, hold on. We didn't even. We'll introduce you momentarily. Did you just say, Hokage, did you just say that's the same as somebody having a firearm, saw somebody jaywalk, and then what happens?
Now listen to this dumb scenario he brings up. Talking about somebody with a firearm and somebody jaywalking. What does that even have to do with this?
If you feel as though somebody was jaywalking, right? And you're like, oh, no, you can't do that. Get back up, go back to the corner, this, that, and the third. And that person pursues to walk across the street. You can't judge that. You can't do that. If she felt as though, now don't get me wrong, I'm not saying she was wrong.
Yeah, but how do you? He literally said she was wrong at the beginning, you all. I want you to pay attention. He literally said from the beginning that she was wrong. Now he's saying she isn't wrong. You see, this is what happens. These raccoons and these MAGA types, Karens and Kens, they get up here and they're so dead set to have the white person be right and the black person be in the wrong that once they start getting debunked or people start saying things that make so much more sense than what they're saying, then all of a sudden they try to act like they're in agreement with you. Oh yeah, I didn't say she was in the wrong. You did say that. And if you didn't think she was in the wrong, then why are we having this whole conversation? And why during the time we're having the conversation have you repetitively spoken about what she should have or could have done other than what she actually did? Okay, please make it make sense. Yes, he's remedial, Corey.
How do you liken that in any way to what happened? Though? How do you liken that scenario?
Correlating. It's not even correlating.
That's not even close. Is what I'm saying. So how could you use that as an example? Is what I'm wondering.
What I'm saying is they got into an argument over a parking spot.
Okay.
Which she was already in. She was already in that parking spot. So
okay.
What are we arguing about?
You just made your point worse by saying that.
No, what I'm saying
you said they're arguing over a parking spot that she's already in.
No, but what I'm saying is that you don't get the right to pull your weapon on somebody.
If they're pursuing you, yes you do. Yes you do.
Over an argument? Over an argument?
In Florida?
Now, did he have this same smoke for George Zimmerman when he pulled out his weapon on Trayvon Martin, whom, by the way, George Zimmerman was the one following Trayvon? Do you ever notice how in these scenarios, it's never the black person that initiates the confrontation? You all notice that, right? It's never the black person who walks up to some white person and starts asking, well, what are you doing here? Well, can I see your ID? Do you know anybody that stays here? Or do you live on this side of town? I've never seen you before. It's never us. Okay, it's never us. It's always them. Why don't they just leave black people the hell alone and we wouldn't keep having these discussions? How about that?
I'm gonna advise you. I'm gonna advise you. And listen, I'm not trying to, because I hear you. But sir, you're gonna have to go look. I would advise you to go take a look at the law specific to that state, the can'ts, do's, don'ts, and all that stuff like that. Because if you're suggesting that is not allowed to happen in Florida, if somebody is pursuing you, and you've warned them to step back, and you are in fact stepping back, you called 911.
Now,
they continuously pursue you. If you tell me that you can't do that in Florida, sir, I think we're on two completely different pages.
No, I'm not saying that what she did was wrong. I'm not saying that.
You're not saying what she did was wrong.
What I'm saying is that she's a black woman in the South that unalived a white man. The laws don't support us.
So now, okay, so but this is.
Okay, so now he's trying to change it to the laws don't support us. She's a black woman in the South. Okay, so he's gone from fully blaming her to now trying to minimize it and act as though, well, I'm just saying that because she's not going to get a fair deal because of how they do black people in the South. That's not what he initially started with, okay? Keep that same energy. Don't try to backpedal now because you see you're not making any darn sense. Okay, because they're bringing facts and you're just bringing your feelings.
Different conversation. Hokage, I'm not disagreeing with you on that, but let me just tell you this. We're having a different conversation now because what you're trying to say is you're talking about real world application of said law. So you have the law itself that just states what it states, and it should be for everybody. What you're now saying is, yeah, I understand that, but we're talking about real world application. Will it be the same for her? Will it be utilized in the same fashion for her? I mean, people could argue that it won't because there's been a history of it not. But I'm just simply saying, did she have the right to defend herself in that moment, as per the law?
In that moment, yes, she did. But,
okay, we're good then.
But there is a but.
Okay.
She could have gotten her car and she could have left.
I times is he going to say that? This is how you know he's not for her. He's just doing that to appease the panel because he doesn't want them to drag him for filth. Because now he's saying she wasn't in the wrong, but then keeps saying that she could have left. If she was not in the wrong, why in the hell does he insist that she could have left and not the guy could have left? He literally walked over to where she was. And here's another thing. In one of the videos, you clearly can see that the man stood in front of her car. He literally was standing in front of her car. So leave where? How was she going to just leave? And if he was standing in front of her car and she pulled off and hit him, then they'd have something else to say. Oh, well, why did she run him over? She just tried to take him out. It was premeditated. She used her car as a weapon. You all know how it goes.
When she
Yeah, but that's feelings again. Hokage, that's feelings again. I hear you, but that's feelings again.
No, that her feelings.
You too now, bro.
Sorry, Mom.
Shout out to moms. Okay, look. Let me Hokage, let me get to some folks want to hop in, and I got people I got to rotate in and all that. But shout out to mom, shout out to you. I appreciate your perspective, and let me just put this on pause momentarily so I can get to some other folks. Okay.
I got certified in the gun class. The
Pew pew, just say
concealed
pew
weapon.
pew.
Pew pew. My apology. Pew
All
pew.
good.
Forget pew pew.
Mm-hmm.
If it was reversed and she drew it and he got the gun, the pew pew out of her hand and used it, he would have been found not guilty. Easy. She was on the phone. She told him don't come forward. He had a chance to go back. You don't know what somebody's going to do. They could have had a sharp object in their pocket or anything just to get close to you and stick you. Anything. You don't know. And she's backing up. I'm sorry. That he should have yielded. He should have went on by his business. His ego got in the way. Because if somebody put a pew pew out and I see it, I'm gone. I'm stepping away. I'm out.
Exactly.
I'm not even going to proceed to deal with that person if they got the pew pew on them. I know I ain't got nothing.
Right.
Only thing I could think, brother, is that, and I hate to say it, YT people, they have that heart in them that, how dare you, and you're not going to do nothing to me. That's what came to his mind. You're not going to do. He's a military man, so he know about gun pew pews, so he know you retreat. What are you going to do against someone that have something on them? And that's my wife. I would want my wife to be protected too. A strange man following her, coming to her, and I don't care if they saying that it was in her car. Well, you go in your car, you get it. You can't determine how fast somebody can run. Somebody can run up on you while you talking about getting in the car. Man, forget that. She stood her ground. She followed the law. We got to stop saying because they have a certain complexion. The law's supposed to work for everyone. We ain't gonna keep making no excuses because she's melanated and he's Caucasian. No, it's not. It's supposed to work for everybody. I know it doesn't work that way because we done seen somebody ran somebody down 100 yards and took a young brother out.
Cyrus,
And he got to claim self-defense. Now that's real. That's worse than this. You run someone down, you get to scream help. When in those classes, when you take the pew pew classes, they say when somebody retreat, you're supposed to stop. It's no more danger now. If you continue to move forward and if you do any harm to someone else, then you're guilty because they retreat. It's no more danger. And she followed the rules too. You call the police. She only used her pew pew one time. She didn't go crazy.
Okay, I'm fast forwarding.
Started to lower his hands, and that's when she
in a place that
Oh yeah, I want y'all to hear this, Karen. Hold on, let me roll it back.
Him, she aim lower self to to stop the enforcement that he's coming forward and get on the phone with the police. She didn't go crazy on him like she could have, but she didn't do that. She followed the rules. You can't approach nobody. And then like Texas and Florida, like you were saying, beyond those are rules in Florida. So it doesn't work for some people and it work for all. I mean, this is going to be a real
Law doesn't always work for us.
no, it's the prosecutor. It's up to the prosecutor to make it look like somebody guilty. It's a lot of people of our color found guilty, even though they're not guilty, because the prosecutor got all that jibby jabber and he talked to the jury and make the jury believe they're gonna get in there and make this woman like an animal. Because the first thing they did, they always give you a good image of them. He's an
the gun in her hand already. Now, I
pew
have
pew,
my
pew pew, real quick
CCW.
and good. Go, just you gotta say pew pew.
I said CCW. I'm sorry. I have
Yeah, just
my
use pew pew.
CCW in about 20 some states,
Mhm.
and Florida is one of them. And you're supposed to holster or have it in a place that you're holding it. You're just not getting out and having it in your hand already and pointing it at somebody.
Mhm.
Now, the whole thing is, I don't have an opinion because I do, but I don't. Because there's no sound. We don't know what the man was saying. Was he attacking her or was he trying to de-escalate?
See, they always need further proof when it's a black person involved. Now, I guarantee you, if there was a white woman and did that, she wouldn't be sitting there saying a damn thing about sound. We need to know what the guy was saying. No, the hell we don't. We see that she had her gun out and she was backing away. It doesn't matter what the hell he was saying. Okay, as far as I'm concerned, if somebody's pointing a gun and telling you to back the hell up, then you need to do just that. Otherwise, you might get something, okay, that you don't like. So she sounds real crazy. Talking about we need the audio so we can hear what he was saying. Who cares what he was saying? He could have been talking nice. He could have been talking crazy. But the bottom line is she told him to back the hell up because she clearly felt threatened. But let's continue.
So that's why I don't have an opinion. Could she have
Somebody-
left at that point? Yes.
One mic
Could
and good,
he
real
have
quick, go
left
ahead.
as soon as he
And
saw
good,
the
real,
gun?
real quick, I'm sorry. You'll be able to finish, but Roy, go ahead.
You said a second ago whether or not he was trying to de-escalate. Do you de-escalate by walking towards somebody who has a pew pew brandished already?
Exactly. Trying to give him the benefit of the doubt, but they never give the black person the benefit of the doubt. Damn devils. That's all these Karens are.
I would, with my hands up in the air, showing you I have nothing in my
Okay,
hands.
I'm asking you based upon what it is that he did, what he was doing in that moment. Did he have his hands raised showing her that he meant no harm?
Yes, at first.
Now y'all hear her lying. I told you all she's gonna lie and say that he had his hands up. Now you all just saw 2 videos, and in neither of the 2 did he have his hands raised at any given moment. Okay? We watched the full videos. Now listen to the lies.
He had his hands raised, and then as he was coming around the car and he made about 2 steps and he started to lower his hands, and that's when she did it.
Lies.
He never had his hands
Lies.
So
He did
give me a
have his
second.
hands raised. You
Give
got
me
to
a-
watch
No, the
the
hell he
entire
didn't.
Give me a
video,
second.
though.
Give me a second because based upon what it is that I've seen and what I researched, it looks
Hold on. Shirley said, well, they've been lying for a century. Why stop now? You got that right, beloved. Because she's clearly sitting here lying. That man didn't hold his
like
hands up.
he started to walk away. And then he turned back and started to walk towards her again. That's when the pew pew took place.
Just a lying
I don't
dog.
know what video you're looking at,
The same
but
one
when
your
he
ass looked at.
started, his hands were way up in the air. Way up
She said they were way up in the air, you guys. He literally never held them up.
above,
They
above
were
his
not.
shoulders.
They were not. Stop lying.
Listen,
No,
according to,
I'm looking
give me
at
a
the
second.
video. Look at the video.
According
You got to make
to,
sure.
Now she's sitting there really trying to convince them by saying that she's looking at the video. Now, hearing her make this argument, I said to myself as I'm listening, I said, I know damn well that man never held his hands up. I saw the video. But just to be sure, I said, let me go look up 2 or 3 more videos to make sure she didn't see something that I missed. Because she sounds convincing, sitting there lying, talking about, you got to look at the video. I'm looking at the video. She's not looking at a darn thing. Okay, except the lies rolling off her tongue. But let's continue.
That you
give
saw
me
the
a second
entire
here. I'm
thing.
trying to give you a source. Okay, so according to ABC News, who reported on the matter, he initially, or excuse me, I don't know how to pronounce his last name, but the dude initially backed off, but then moved toward her again, at which point she fired, striking him in the abdomen. So he started to walk away and then started to move towards her again, and that's when the pew-pewing took place.
Correct.
Okay, so let's stop. This whole idea that he started to lower his hands and that's when she pew-pewed him is absolutely false, and that's a narrative that we can't walk forward with, because we have to recognize.
Did you see where he walked? They walked all the way around the car.
But you just said and confirmed that he started to walk away and then went back.
Shirley, no, she is not looking at another video. She is telling a damn lie. Okay, that's the first thing I thought. I gave her the benefit of the doubt when she said, I'm looking at the video now. You got to look at the video. So I said, maybe she's looking at a different video than the one I saw. So I went and looked up 2 or 3 more videos, and none of them showed that she's telling a damn lie. That's all it is. She just tries to make it sound convincing by repetitively saying the same damn thing and acting as though she's watching the video in real time. Just a lying piece of ish.
To walking toward her. That's when the pew-pewing took place. You just confirmed that a second ago, so I don't understand what it is that we talking about now, because you just said it.
You can tell that she's a Trump supporter because Trump's minions all lie just like he does. They literally talk like him, lie like him, and everything. They probably think the same thing he thinks, that if you tell a lie long enough, people will start to believe it, but not people with sense.
What I said was that he went in the store. She was in her car, sitting there waiting for him. She got out of the car with the pew-pew in the hand and came out walking in front of him, right? In front of the car.
Was his car still, didn't you, wait, first off, didn't his car partially block the parking space and she still wiggled into the parking space?
He did not block her in. He did not block her in.
So how did he get to her car?
It was another car that moved out.
Yeah, the person that was in the white car that told her, here he comes, he's coming back. They warned her and then they got out of there.
Wasn't his. So she got in the parking spot. You can clearly see her car. And she sat there until he came back from the store. And when
how does she know he even went in the store? How does she know that? Because somebody said he was over there smoking a cigarette. They didn't say anything about him going in the store. And when he came out, how come he didn't have any bags or anything that he purchased in his darn hands? He didn't go in no darn store. I don't believe it. And even if he did, he still came up on her.
He walked in front of her car. She got out with it in her hand.
Okay. So you stated that she could have left, whatever. Now you're saying that they're both in the wrong, but
Yeah, now she's trying to backpedal. This is what they keep doing, you guys. This is what I be telling you all. Once they see their argument isn't, their lies are not fooling anyone. They're getting called out on their lies, and nobody's going for their BS. Then they start trying to, trying to water it down, trying to water down their argument. Oh, they're both in the wrong. No, you just said that she was in the wrong, Karen. You just said that he didn't block her in. You just said that she got out of the car with the gun in her hand, which she did. But then you said that she was waiting on him. And then you also said that he had his hands high in the air with your lying self.
You
I said
didn't
that from
lead
the
with
very
that.
beginning
No,
that
you didn't.
we
No,
don't
you didn't.
know. I
You
said
just tried to hold on,
we
hold
don't.
on. No, because you just tried to say that he was walking towards her, showing her hands. He started to put his hands down, and then she pew-pewed him. That implies that she did not respect him trying to de-escalate. Now, but as soon as you say that he was walking towards her with his hands up, you're saying that he's trying to de-escalate. So how can he be wrong if you just said he was trying to de-escalate, unless you've had to change your stance because I just proved to you that your stance was flawed?
That's exactly what it was. That's exactly what it was. When you start showing them that their story doesn't make any sense and that the only reason they're saying this stuff is because they're racist, then they start trying to walk it on back. Oh, well, they're both wrong. No, they're not both wrong. He's wrong. Okay, he was wrong, period.
I want some clarifying questions too.
Definitely,
That's
Flex.
All right.
You know what? As a matter of fact, in good, you can go ahead and unmute if you have something to say to me. In response, I'm ready for that. But then we are gonna move on. I can't occupy all of the time at all.
I said in the very beginning that we can't make an informed opinion because we cannot hear any audio.
She did not say that. What she said was, she said, I don't have an opinion. Well, I do, but I don't. These are her exact words. Okay, because I was paying attention. She said, I don't have an opinion. Well, I do, but I don't. Because we don't have the audio, so we don't know what he was saying to her. That's what she said. She said, we don't know what he was saying to her. Not, we don't know what she was saying to him, because she was trying to give him grace, trying to act as though, trying to imply that he was possibly trying to de-escalate it, but yet she still shot him. That's what she was saying. And that was her opinion, even though she said she didn't really have one. Please, spinning a whole web of lies and BS.
Okay, so how did we get to the point of them both being wrong if you preface your statement by
She
saying
got,
it's
because
hard
she
to...
waited for him. She
No,
waited
but
for him to come out of the store.
wait.
Where'd she get that from? Where'd she get that from, that she waited on him to come out of the store?
And then we get,
Hold on. How did I get back here? Hold on, beloveds.
Literally waiting for a conflict with him. That was the reason why she was waiting in her car. And if she wanted a conflict with him, why didn't she get out of the car with the pew-pew so she could, confront him or make herself known so the confrontation could occur? Why didn't she do that?
That doesn't make sense.
Why does it make sense? Because she was in her car, and then he then approaches her, and then she gets out of her car. Does it look like she wanted confrontation?
He did not approach her when she was in the car.
He didn't come
He
around
did not
towards her.
approach her. You got to watch the full video.
I watched the video. She did see him from a distance, and then he made his way over there. She was already concerned whether or not he was going to approach her from the very beginning. So
First of all, she's lying, okay? I just thought about something. Now, she's saying that she was sitting there waiting for him. She was actually talking to the person in the white vehicle that drove off. She was talking to them, and they told her, here he comes. Okay, so what makes her think that this woman was waiting on him?
let me ask you this question. Since you're so confident with this particular narrative, you said earlier that She could have de-escalated the situation because he came there with his hands up. I know that Royal gave you the argument that, you know what, his hands was down. But I want to bite onto your narrative for a moment here. I'm willing to give you that, even though I disagree with you. But for the sake of argument, I'm going to give you that. If someone has a pew-pew in their hand and they're telling you to walk away, whether that person have their hands up or not, who's de-escalating that between the two?
He definitely should have walked away. I said that early in the beginning.
So he was
They
doing
both
it.
had a chance. The biggest thing I said is we can't
No,
hear any
I'm
audio.
asking.
We
No,
don't
but
know
I'm
what
asking the
she was
question.
saying.
Did she not tell him to walk away? Did she tell him what
Do you
her
know
weapon?
that? Did you?
Yeah, we do know that she said that because the witnesses said it. Yikes.
Hear the video?
Witnesses stated that she was telling him to walk away.
Yeah. So who's de-escalating between the two? The person who continuously walk up to whether he had his hands up or not, or the person who's telling them to walk away? Just two individuals. Who's doing the de-escalating?
Let me ask you this question.
No,
You're
please answer my
doing
question first.
hypothetical, right?
No, it's not a hypothetical because I'm gonna tie it in. I need you to answer the question. Out of the two, who's doing the de-escalating? The person who's telling the individual to walk away, or the person who's continuously walking up to that person?
And she don't want to answer that.
Sorry, I'm muting because my dogs are barking. We having a storm.
Yeah.
I said they both had the chance.
I didn't ask you who had the chance. I'm asking you a very simple question. Do I need to spell it?
See, here's the thing. Here's the thing with people like this. And by people like this, I mean these MAGA types. Okay? Now, the bottom line is she just cannot say that he was wrong. She just does not want to say that he was wrong all by himself. No, they both have to be wrong. I want you all to pay attention because when a black person's in the right, they can never be in the right when it comes to these people. Okay? They either were both wrong or the black person was wrong. And they only make it both of them wrong when some other black person starts debunking their BS narrative that's full of lies and has 1,000 holes in it.
Out for you or something? Is there a comprehension issue here? I'm asking you if there's two situations, two people there, and one of the two people are saying walk away, whether that person is approaching them with their hands up or down. I don't care about that. And they're saying walk away. Who's demonstrating de-escalation in between the two?
He definitely should have walked away. But it would have never even gotten that far. He went into Walmart and he came back out, and she could have been gone. He wasn't going after her.
Understood. So real quick, so you answered them. Flex got the clarity there, right? I gotta move on, right? So real quick, that
belief that they are in imminent danger. Number two, you stated that when a person is carrying a pew-pew in a car, that it must be holstered. That is incorrect. According to Florida Statute 790.25 subsection 5, it states that anybody that has a CCW can have a pew-pew in a car without it being holstered.
Now she's the one sitting up here talking about she has a CCW, right? And then saying that it has to be holstered when it's in the car. Where is she getting this from? She doesn't even know what the hell she's talking about.
However, if they don't have a CCW, then it must be holstered. The third thing that you stated that was incorrect was that when a person does have a CCW, they must retreat. According to Florida Statute 776.012, you do not have a duty to retreat, whether you are licensed or not. Florida is a permitless carry state. You do not have a duty to retreat. As long as you are there in a place you are allowed to be in, you are not committing a crime, and you have no duty to retreat, you are able to get out of your vehicle with a pew-pew, whether you have a CCW or not, and threaten somebody to get away from you. And if they do not, you have a right to stand your ground. Now, you were talking about she was wrong because she sat in her car. She was sitting in her personal property. He walked in a Walmart after he politely tried to obstruct that parking spot. She still got in there. When she did get out the vehicle and she was on the phone and she was talking to the other lady in the van, the lady in the van told her that he was coming back. She was on the phone with 911 and she politely told him, back up. It's not her fault that he didn't choose to do what he was supposed to do. As an aggressor, simply diffused the situation. He did not disengage. He actually disengaged and then re-engaged. So please stop sitting on panels telling false information. You should be more responsible as a CCW holder to know the laws of the localities that you are registered to have that CCW in, and you should literally be telling people what the true law is instead of what your opinion of the law is. And I'll land right there.
Tell him that, trucker. Okay, he told her. And here's the thing. The lady was on the phone with 911. Did it ever occur to Miss Karen that perhaps she was waiting on 911 to send someone to the scene? Okay, but no, she wants to sit there and say, oh, she waited on him to come back out. Like she's just lying in wait trying to cause trouble.
Thank you, that trucker. Thank you for that. So real quick. So the galaxy has come through. I would like 2 galaxies has come through from Mr. Q. And I'm not doing that so I don't hear that part. I want you to fully say that part, but I need to hold on because I just want to.
She yells something, and then he comes back over.
That she was outside with the phone, on the phone apparently, when this whole thing went off, when he came out of the store. And good, you're saying you saw a video that literally shows him, because we have to be very clear, walking out of the store. She's not even out of the car yet. You're saying you saw a video like that.
That's
yourself.
correct.
You didn't hear about.
She's telling a darn lie. When did she see a video showing him literally coming out of the darn store?
About it, you didn't.
No.
You saw it.
He walks past her car. She gets out of the car with the pew-pew and goes over to the car next to her. And then she says something to him. And then he starts to walk back. And that white car takes off. And then that's when she does it.
Flex was requesting the video, and that's actually, and good. So whatever you're talking about, are you able to send that to him?
I don't know how to do that.
Just copy the link and then send it to his DM.
Yeah, because the video I seen was she was talking to a car next to her. She
Right.
was talking to a person next to her outside of the
Yes.
car. That's the video that I've seen.
Yes, she was. He walked by. He walked by all.
Well, wait a
of that.
minute. Hold on. And good. You said she was outside of the car.
So when he walked by, she gets out of the car with the pew-pew and talks to the person in the car next to her. And then I don't know if she's yelling something over top of the car. That's why I said.
Well, wait a minute. Hold on. Hold on. No. Wait a minute. Because wait a minute. Time out. Now this is where now we're getting somewhere, hence the reason I'm asking these questions now. Because what you just said makes it less interesting that she even got out of the car. Because you telling me that he walked past, went about his business.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
She got out the car and started talking to somebody else, not even paying him any attention, and he walks back over?
She yells something, and then he comes back over.
But hold up, you told me
And
that
she has the pew-pew in her hand.
But good. I'm confused too because earlier you said that there was no audio in the video. How did you hear her yell something to him? How do you know that?
I'm just going by what I'm seeing. That's what I just said. I don't know what she said, but you can see that she is talking. If you can read lips or something, I wish I had.
She's just making up lies. Okay, she already said there's no audio. Now all of a sudden the lady yelled out something, and that's the reason. See, here's what she's doing. She's trying her damnedest to make it this woman's fault. Okay, first she starts off with saying he had his hands high in the air, extended above his head. And then when he lowered him, that's when she shot him. Then she says she's sitting out in her car waiting for him to come out of the store. Okay. Then she says that he basically, I mean, it's just like the story keeps changing. She keeps moving the goalpost. And yes, someone says she's creating a narrative. That's exactly what she's trying to do, Pretty Wings. Okay. So she's trying her darndest. Now she's saying, oh, well, he wouldn't have come back. She's trying to paint the picture that, oh, he wouldn't have come back over there bothering her had she not yelled something. She yelled something at him. But you said there's no audio. Oh, well, maybe you could read lips. She said something. She's on the phone with 911. Maybe she was talking to them, clown.
Had a clearer view, yelling something, and then somebody said that's when the person in the white car said to her, he's coming back over.
Would it be fair to understand that she was on the phone with the police talking, and the person that she was talking to alerted her that he was coming back? How come you're not making that conclusion? Just curious.
I don't know, because we don't know what the audio says. We don't even know who she was speaking with.
You just said that she yelled at him and then yelled something at him, and then he came back over there. Honey, this lady is something else.
Is there a 911 call out there?
Yes. Yes.
Has that been confirmed? Yeah, so there we go. So wait, hold on. So now we're getting somewhere. So is it confirmed that at that point in time she was on the phone? Because they could easily see that. That's not even hard to prove. Do we have anything that definitively states she was on the phone with 911 at that time?
It looks like she's videoing.
She's not videoing. She was on the
No.
phone with 911 the whole time.
Who clearly instructed her to stay in the vehicle.
How do you know that? How the hell do you know what 911 told her?
They
You
told her
have
to
that.
stay
You
in
have
the
whoa,
vehicle.
whoa.
No, we're not doing
How can
that.
how can you substantiate that she was told by the police to stay in the vehicle?
I believe it's WXVT Channel 7 out of Los Angeles.
This is another Karen, and she's chiming in and lying with her. Okay, please pay attention. They are both liars who came here with no facts and no proof or receipts. Now she's going to sit there and tell this. Let's just keep listening.
Is one of my sources.
And read it what you're talking about, please.
Now, mind you, this lady is named Unapologetic Somebody, but the other lady, In Good, she's the one who's telling all these lies previously. Okay, so now remember, they already told her to send them the video footage because she says that she saw a video footage with some things on it that they didn't see. So they've asked her to send them that footage. And I'm just going to go ahead and tell you that the footage she sends is not hitting on anything. Okay, it's the same damn thing they already saw. The only difference is she sent a YouTube video where some people who think like her clearly were giving their opinions on it. That's where she got the bullshit from. So she was lying the whole time. And now we have Karen number 2 sitting up here lying as well.
Hold on, let me go back and look it back up.
What is it? WX?
Hold on, I'll tell you.
So I think that it's best for us to keep our sources ready to cite. Like all of this,
please.
let me go find it and this, that, and the third. If you find a source that's going to substantiate your position, keep it on you. Just like she had it on her. She had her web, she had it ready to use. Y'all going to have to do that same thing.
Okay.
Do that same thing with your sources, please. My bad, divinely, my bad, y'all. I'm just
These two Karens are just always trying to change the rules,
Here's what I'm
change
gonna
the
do.
narrative.
Okay, sorry, Gigi, go ahead. Yeah. No. It's here's the thing. Let's do this real quick. This is what I'm gonna do. Whether it's a video, whether it's a news station, this, that, whatever, can everybody grab their source real quick? Send it to either Royal, Flex, myself, Experience, Kevin, whoever. Get your sources. I'm gonna go to Bagel Scat, then I'm gonna go to Hope, then I have to start rotating because we got people who've been in the queue. Appreciate your patience again. Can people grab their sources, because it's not enough to say this and that and maybe whatever 911 maybe at the time, or maybe she could have been doing video. The dispatch told her, everybody grab what they can grab about what is going on, and then send it to one of the people that I mentioned, because we're gonna look at this in real time.
I have
Real
another
time.
device pulled up. I can pull up anything right now.
There we go, Royal, and that
Anything you
even works
send me.
too. And that even, and you know what? I'll do you even one better. Anything they send you, Royal, and also if you could, in the interim, while I'm getting to some of these other people, even if you could pull up some stuff that comes from official, credible sources that is speaking to specifically what we're trying to find out, you don't even have to wait for, if you can find it, Divine, if you can find it, we don't have to wait for anybody to send anything. Let's figure this out right now. I know the chat wants to know. We all want to know. We got to figure this out, because there's too many different things going on. Let me just do this. Big ol' Scat and Flex. You there too, Flex?
Yeah, I'm here.
Cool. Okay, if you can find out whatever you can find, because here's the bottom line. I'm gonna keep it. And Royal probably knew this was coming, just because he knows how he's starting to. I think he's picking up on a lot of how I'm not making anything up. Yeah. Hold on. So, right, and if I'm not gonna make anything up, right? So if it is what it is, then that's just what it is. And I already know about the history in the country. It crazy looking. But I'm not about to start putting colorful whatever and fairy wings on. Like, I'm not gonna do that. Like,
Same here.
I'm not gonna get fantastical with it. Either it is or it isn't, and that's just what it is, right? So
if the
sorry,
truth bears out,
if
the truth bears out something different, then it is what it is. At the end of the day, we're about facts and about truth, and that's the metric by what we're going to, and the lens by which we're going to look at all of the facts. I do find it quite interesting that when we keep pushing and asking her questions, I don't think she's very consistent about what she saw. I'm hearing different things, so the only way to get to the bottom of it is to see that particular video. But she's also saying that there's no audio to that video, so I'm assuming she can read lips, because she says she shot at him. But the video, and I seen two videos, and the two videos I seen was when a woman was talking to someone next to the car, and he was far away. She wasn't even minding her. She was minding her business. She wasn't seeking his attention. She wasn't going up to him, confronting him, or anything. And he found his way over to her. That's what I witnessed. I didn't see anything about him going, waiting for her outside the car or outside of her car with a pew just to confront him. I don't know where that story come from, and I think it needs to be substantiated.
Yeah. That's all it is I have one understanding now, right? And I just want to make sure that what I understand is what it is. Because I just want to know what happened.
5 different health ailments, and I'm not going to be here. I have 3 little great-grandchildren. I'm not going to be here. I want to see more out of people of kindness and not this hate.
HATE. No, I definitely. Let me just. Here's the thing, right? And I'm going to mute you up, because I am going to go to.
Thank you.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Come here. What were you saying? You're welcome. You can go ahead.
Now, this is a third Karen talking. Her name is Hope. Please listen to what she says. She said she's not going to be here long. She's got grandkids, and she wants to see kindness instead of this hate. Now, watch what else she said.
Accept the
I've
request.
been ready to talk. Can I say something?
You can. You got to give me another second, though. I'm sorry. I appreciate your patience. Real quick, and then I'm going to go to you, Miss Cutie, or Q. Yeah, that's what it is. I appreciate your patience. Hope, I'm gonna be honest with you. Yeah. So the thing about that is, I know you said you're tired of all the stand your ground. People have been using stand your ground now. You gotta stay on mute. You gotta stay.
Yeah, she said she's tired of stand your ground. Now, I want you all to pay attention. When have they ever been tired of stand your ground? They love it. They always talk about their Second Amendment rights and all of that. But now, because Black people are using it, now you're tired of it. Please get out of here.
Stay on mute. People have been using stand your ground now, right? And been getting off with the stand your ground claim, right? So it's not. I'm not gonna go along with people being sick of stand your ground when it's been being utilized for a very, very long time, because And this is just my opinion. What that looks like, somebody saying that looks like it's inconvenient now because there's certain folks trying to utilize said stand your ground. And I'm not gonna, that somebody being sick of stand your ground, I'm not going with that. I'm not gonna go with that. Because there's been a lot of situations where people were very much able to use stand your ground and nobody was sick of anything. If anything, they were cheering it on. You understand?
Exactly.
I'm not gonna see, the thing about me is I'm going to call it the way I see it, regardless. I'm not doing this overly emotional, this and that, and it just has to be because no. I am saying definitively, I'm gonna call it how I see it and also for what it is. And so when it comes to being sick of hearing stand your ground, I would be honest with you, people should have been sick of it many times over by now then.
Oh,
Because there's a lot of people
was.
that lost their, hold on, you gotta wait. There's a lot of people who have lost their lives to people who use stand your ground claims. So now you have a couple situations occur recent history that very much include, stand your ground. And then stand your ground is being called heavily into question. And you have people saying they're sick of it all of a sudden. I'm not going along with that. That I will not go along with. Because I will be honest about the fact that there is only this kind of forensic analysis of what should or should not have happened considering these kinds of circumstances when it applies to very specific people and situations. And I'm not going to sit here and lie about that to make anybody feel in the least bit comfortable. I'm going to tell the truth. It is not the same when it comes to stand your ground. So while I am looking at what happened with this case, I do want to see the video pertaining to this case. I want to know the truth regardless of people, if people are upset about me wanting to know the truth or not, I don't care. I still want to know the truth. I am also going to say that what has happened historically is not lost on me, not even for a second. Okay? It has not been equal in terms of its application. It has not. I'm going to say that definitively. It has not been equal, not even for a second. So I understand you're saying you're sick of it. People have long since been sick of not being able to utilize it when their life was truly in danger. So I cannot accept somebody being sick of it or it being inconvenient now that other people are trying to use stand your ground. Okay? And I do see you drop. I appreciate you offering your perspective, but it is what it is. Go ahead.
Now she dropped after he wouldn't fall for her BS and called her out on it because all of a sudden you hate stand your ground. Like, sit down some damn where. You didn't worry about stand your ground when your people were using it. Okay, now she's dropped. And this is what they do. When they realize that the BS that they're spewing and the lies and the false narratives is not going to work on these people. Let me tell you all something. I listen to these people very often on their TikTok lives because they are very educated and informed, and they're all about facts. Okay, not just opinions and feelings. They're more so focused on facts. That's why they told Ian Good, the other Karen, to send them the darn video. Okay, because they want proof and receipts, because that's what they bring. But see, these lying Karens get up here, and these Kens, these MAGA type minions, they get up here, all they do is lie and try to paint false narratives and try to pretend they're not racist, but everything they say lets you know they're racist. Because if they were not racist, they would not be so fixated on trying to find a reason, an excuse, a justification to demonize this Black woman and make it that she's wrong and that she did in fact exercise self-defense. Okay? That's what they wouldn't do.
Cutie.
We look at you and we see that in clear action. We see you. We have eyes. We have ears. It's you. It's you. Everywhere y'all have set foot at, it's been blood shed everywhere. Thievery everywhere. Murder, grape everywhere. We see you. Don't project that onto us. That ain't our energy. We are a loving, kind people. This is why y'all been able to be over here comfortably for so long without us doing nothing to you. You better respect us and stop it, because that karma is on your ass right now. Quit disrespecting us or receive more karma. And if you don't like it, change it.
Thank you for that, Miss Judy. What's all that? No, what's all that? That echo? That sounded like. Hold on, Michael. What?
Yeah. Yep. That's what it was.
I was. Yeah, because Michael. Right side, bottom box. Right side, bottom box, Michael. Okay, yeah, because all that extra activity is not that's a little suspect. Thank you for stopping by. Yeah, cutie, no, but thank you for your perspective. Appreciate it. Real quick, because I'm sorry.
Yeah, I pulled
Yes.
up the link that she provided. This is a YouTube video of it looked like three dudes giving commentary or giving their opinion on the situation. So this don't necessarily hold weight for me at all.
See how she sat there and lied, talking about she had some different videos?
So it's a YouTube video, like what, chopped up with somebody providing commentary?
No, it's about an hour and 40 minutes. They sitting here talking about it or whatever, talking about what happened. But it's
Vince I.M. said he's on it just like the queen. I love it. I do too, beloved. I absolutely do. And his name is Royal Oaks. Okay. I love it because he's always on their ass.
really just their interpretation of what took place, not necessarily something that would solidify anything.
Just fast forward it. It'll give you the full video.
Oh, okay. So that's what this is for? Okay.
Yes.
Give me a moment. I'm going to put myself on mute and watch it. I'll be right back.
She's still lying, y'all.
Okay, there we go. So in the meantime, shout out to everybody in the room currently, all 355 people. Welcome to Beyond the Inertia. I am Beyond. Obviously, as usual, follow all the panelists, show love to all the panelists, continue to gift all the panelists, stay in tune with
Dishonest and disingenuous, especially when having this conversation. Let me finish. I know you need to have a little bit more.
No, that was Royal. He went back. That was Royal. Go ahead.
No, okay, yeah. But watching the video, there is no original video. It is podcasters who have their own interpretation on the event. There's no breaking video that they're watching that is unique, that have something different than what we have been discussing here. It's their own interpretation of what they think should have happened on the basis of what they believe they observed from the same videos in which we observed. She didn't say anything unique, nothing new. In fact, that video has nothing to do with the event. She didn't send us a video of the car there, the woman talking or coming out with the pew and and waiting for the guy. None of that is shown in that link in which she posted at the bottom. Perhaps she may have made a mistake, an error, and sent me the wrong link or posted the wrong link. I'm willing to, to say perhaps she did that, but however, that video doesn't demonstrate anything.
You know me too well. I know for a fact she sent this video simply because there's a black man sitting with two white T men and he giving his opinion. I know for a fact that's the only reason why she chose this one, because it don't show not a millisecond more than what we've already determined and what we've already looked at. So I'm not understand why she sent the video that was an hour and 40 minutes long when the when the video we need is about 30 to 40 seconds. I just I don't get it. Maybe
I'm going to tell you why she sent it. Buckhorst DC says they want a war. Really? Okay, thank you for your insight to the topic, beloved. They sure do. And thank you for your contribution to the channel. I appreciate you. Peace, love, and blessings. Here's the thing. Now, she sent that video like he said, because there is a black guy sitting up there with two white T men, and they're giving their thoughts on him. He's clearly a raccoon, okay? And he's saying what she wants to hear. And so I guess she feels, as many of these people like her think, they feel like, if we're going against the narrative or going against the grain or saying something contrary to what they believe or think, then, let's just show them that there's other black people, even a black person is saying the same thing. Who cares? We know there's raccoons and they are not like us. Okay, so please, of course they're going to go along with you. That doesn't prove a darn thing. All right, please pay attention.
somebody else would be able to help me, but Flex, you giving out too much grace, dear brother, because I know for a fact that she sent the video that she meant to send.
Royal ABC World News.
Can I say something real quick?
Because you got it. Go ahead.
I want to say we're good and Apologetic was supposed to send something about the police telling her to stay in her car. I want to know about what happened to that information.
Yeah, where's that at? Because I want to look at that too.
There we go. So unapologetic. Can you come off mute?
Yeah, that's the other Karen, the second Karen. She said she's acting like she heard something different than what everybody else heard.
Yep, I'm here. I looked for that and I have no idea where I saw it. I wasn't able to find it again. That may have been incorrect information since I can't.
It was incorrect information because you lied. You made it up. There's no way in the hell that she would have known whether or not, okay, that the police on the dispatcher told her to sit in her car. Okay? Please.
Can't find it again. It's suspicious. It should still be out there if it was credible. But you know, the ABC World News, if you want a clear video, that's the clearest one that I've seen so far.
Got it.
All the videos are clear.
And by the way,
All the videos are clear. What the hell is she talking about? Now she's trying to act like she's doing a favor. Please. Talking about she can't find it. You never
it was
found
almost half a car length or more.
One mic.
Hold on,
Go ahead. One mic.
Hold on, though, because this is not the Carmelo situation where we need the video to be absolutely clear for us to determine what it is that's taking place.
You gotta
But you saying that the video is clear, that does not change what it is that's taking place. As clear as day, and with the most grainy videos that he is aggressing upon her. That's clear. I don't think that a video in 8K or 16K when they produce it is gonna be able to change what it is that we seeing about what's going on. So I'm baffled at what's going on right now. It's
You're
like
not spent 10 minutes begging for the video, sir.
Royal, you're not.
He said in 16K when it comes out, okay? Buckhurst DC says, I guess we got to fight again. Well, if we keep listening to these lying Karens, honey, there's no telling. Thank you for your insight into the topic and your contribution to the channel, beloved. I appreciate you. Peace, love, and blessings.
I'm baffled because this is what they do. They will make up stuff and then it gets passed along through these panels that they're going through and on TikTok and on Facebook, and they will literally run with these lies that they have no proof of. And then they'll make it like they've seen something that they really did not see. And then when you ask for receipts, they never have it.
Exactly.
I'll tell you like this, you gonna listen to me, because as long as I'm YT, I'm right. I tell you that much. I ain't been wrong my whole life. It doesn't matter what you see on the video, because when I see the video, I can tell she's talking to the police, and the police is telling her not to. I can tell just by watching the video with no sound. I know exactly what's going on. I know who she's talking to and what she's talking to them about. Come on, y'all, cut that out.
You know that we're defending ourselves too. You know that. You seeing it. Quit bullying us. We are not to be bullied.
All right,
we're tired of your abuse. Leave us alone. We ain't doing nothing to nobody. What have we done to any of you for y'all to attack us like this harshly? What have we done? Name it.
Being black in America.
There we go, Gigi. So here's the thing. All right, so here's the thing. This is what we have up to this point, right? And as I speak, just please continue to tap, share, repost, right? Elevate the discussion, bring it to another level. Hold on. The video did not show what Ingood said before, and I'm just going over where we're at now. Unapologetic was honest and said, can't find it, not out there. Might not even be credible, because if it was, I'd be able to find it. Honesty was there, but that's where we're at now.
I wasn't no honesty. She was lying from the jump. She couldn't find it because she never saw it in the first place. She made it up and thought her lie was going to stick. I thought we're just going to believe her because she's YT. Okay, like we're not going to have questions and make her bring the receipts. That's what she thought. Okay, because I'm white, not say so. That's what that was. But then when she saw that she couldn't just say so and we wanted to see the proof, now she doesn't have it. Yeah, she never had any. Okay, she was lying from the jump.
Right? So we're back at self-defense. I just want to be very clear, based on what we've looked into and what was initially said, right? We have arrived back at self-defense unless we have anything that shows otherwise. And we're going according to obviously the law of the land, Florida's law, and then we're going according to the video that we do have and what it shows, nothing more, nothing less. If somebody disagrees with the fact that we are in this spot and are still calling into question whether or not it's self-defense, if stand your ground has anything to do with this, hop in the queue. You will be brought up to speak your piece.
See it. Because if we wrong, then we need to be corrected.
Exactly.
But we can't
No, but
stand
you said a video
corrected.
doesn't matter.
No.
Does
But
matter.
no.
Stop
Hold
going over all over the
on.
place.
Hold on, no, unapologetic. Now you trying to twist and bend my words for them to benefit you in this moment so you can contradict and or condescend or be facetious. Now check this out. I said the clarity of the video does not matter. Because if you can show me a grainy video of him walking away and then her becoming aggressive with him as he's walking away, then that changes my entire stance. The reality is you're not able to produce that. So the video where you're saying that it's the clearest video I've seen, that does not matter because the clarity of the video does not dictate what it is that's going on. And it doesn't keep us from being able, no, stop. Because it doesn't keep us from being able to determine what it is that's taking place in real time. So now, if you want to provide a video that supports your stance that he walked past her and then whatever this, that, and the third thing, you can produce that because that would mean something. And I wouldn't mind if it was in the same format or the same level of clarity that I've seen already. So just to reiterate, because I know sometimes y'all have a hard time picking up what we putting down. The 4K, 8K, 16K video that shows us the exact same scenario means nothing. Unless you can show us the video that supports the statement that that he walked away or he walked past her, whatever, that video might mean something. So now that I've cleared that up, can you find the video
There's
or can you
always
not?
an excuse for us to be bullied and abused. Like, what is going on?
No. See, they can try that, but we not letting that fly, Miss QT, and that's the reason why we forcing them to take us down the road that they walk to get to the point that they standing at.
Car length away.
Girl, I don't give a damn if he was 2 cities away.
First of all, she's lying. He wasn't 2 car lengths away. He wasn't even 1 car length away. He was right up on her at some points.
If he becoming aggressive and she telling him that she's with, and please don't take that as something literal. I'm saying I don't care if he was even further away. As soon as she told him that she felt threatened and she needed him to walk away so that she did not feel threatened anymore, he made a choice. And it just so happened that that choice led to his being unalived. And I'm unapologetic about that.
Well, and then that's not even the only thing. There's another thing. We're literally watching a video of her backing away and him progressing towards her. Why do y'all feel that she had no right to defend herself at that point? Who in their right mind? Clearly he's out of his mind. Because if somebody has a pew out on me, I'm not going to keep on walking up to them like that.
Exactly.
That part.
So make it make sense. Y'all have to make it make sense.
And here's the thing. Let me just say, when she's talking about the distance that he was away from her, these people literally think that this Black woman was supposed to allow him to get close enough to her within striking distance and so that he could do something before she shot. That's what they said. Now, I didn't record this whole thing. Like I said, it was hours long. But there were some instances where they literally felt as though that she should have stood there and let him get closer. Because one of them was like, oh, he wasn't even in striking distance. Oh, that was too soon. She pulled the gun out too soon. He wasn't even close to her. He hadn't even done anything. So you're supposed to wait for them to do something? I mean, if someone's standing before you and you feel like you're in danger, you're supposed to literally wait until they do something, until they take some sort of dangerous action before you prepare to defend yourself? Like, make it make sense. Had he gotten any closer, he could have knocked her out. He could have taken the gun, disarmed her, and used it on her. He could have done a myriad of things. But they're sitting here making all of these allowances for this man, but none for the woman. That's because they're racist devils, and that's just what it is. Okay, that's what it is.
That he was not a danger to her. For him to be walking up on her continuously, she's backing away. We see in the videos her backing away, going around cars, and he's still walking up on her with her pew-pew out. That is somebody who is not right in their head. She didn't have to wait to find out what he was going to do.
Give me a second, your face. Give me a second, Gigi. Give me a second, y'all. Because y'all noticed that once it got hot, somebody left, so I got to go ahead.
Yeah, that's what I want to say. That's I want to point
She's
that
a
out.
runner. She's a track star. She gonna run away when it get hard. She can't take the pain. She can get scarred. It's a damn shame that you come up here talking like you.
Craziest people on.
See, another one dropped. Another one dropped. See, here's what they do. I'm telling you, when they come and they spew their lies, try to paint false narratives, and it doesn't work. And then these people on this panel always want receipts. And when they don't have them, and then the people start going in on them or making them look stupid because that's what they are in the first place, then they want to just drop down off the panel. That's the second one that's dropped after being debunked. The next one is going to be in good, I'm sure.
This platform, like,
So see, and this is the thing. They can go ahead and say what they want to say. Everybody got a right to speak up on how they feel and things of that nature. But when we ask you to substantiate what you're saying, when we asking you to show us the foundation that you're standing on, when we ask you to show us the bricks and the mortar that builds your stance, or that your stance is built around, or built upon, they cannot do it. So what we're dealing with is people who do not have laws, statutes, and things of that nature for them to stand upon. Like I said earlier, and I said that it was the first time I ever said it, but y'all gonna hear this more and more often. They speaking out the left side of their chest. They talking all of what they heart feel and nothing about what they mind knows. And I'm glad she decided on her own to go. Never mind, I don't have to go there, but y'all get what I'm saying. Y'all get where I'm going.
They don't have video evidence. That's what they always do. They come on here, they try to rage bait us. They come on with their own set of facts, but then they can't give the sources to back up their facts. And that's where Royal tries to lead them down the road and show us what you're talking about. Because if you could show us something different, then maybe we would listen, but they don't never have no proof. You can't keep changing the goalposts. You can't keep changing the rules so that it affects, that it only stands in an agreement when it's y'all standing in self-defense and standing your ground. Now that we're using the same law applied in a different way because there's two different people involved, now all of a sudden the law doesn't count. Get the F out of here.
And they hate the law and they're tired of standing your ground. Please sit down somewhere. These people literally think that we're supposed to just allow them to attack and accost us. And we're not supposed to do anything. And if you do decide to do something, wait until after they've already gotten their licks in first. Okay? That's what they sound like. They sound so darn ridiculous. Okay? I'm not going to wait for someone to get right up on me, a whole grown man who's stronger than me. Are you serious? So she's supposed to just sit there and wait for him to get in striking distance and then try to do something? What if he grabs the gun and that's her only means of protection? Like, make it make sense.
I think way, but with different people.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
You personally, you.
No, that's what I'm saying. I don't think it's stand your ground at the moment.
Now I want you all to pay attention because here comes the Karens, the male Karens, okay? I had to get some of them. Here comes the male Karens, and listen, same song and dance.
But when I get more information, I could be wrong. I'm open to anything. I do think that this is going to set a precedence in the future, I believe. So, every time something like this happens, they try to be really careful with what they call stand your ground so they aren't setting a bad precedence in the future, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. Go ahead.
Hold on.
Now, it sounds like someone correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't he saying president, like the president of the United States? Okay, not precedent, which is the actual word that he's trying to use. Okay, please pay attention. Now, the first thing he said was, if there's more information, then he'll change. He's open to changing his mind. But immediately, his first thought is for the black woman to be in the wrong. Okay, please pay attention.
I want to know, Ryder, how do you know that she was sitting in her car when he approached? What evidence have you seen to suggest that she was sitting in her car when she approached, and she was not outside of her car talking to someone, to a person in the car next to her? What evidence do you have for that?
Because it was over a parking dispute, I believe it started earlier on than before they exited the vehicle. Like I said, once I have more information, I'm willing to change my position.
No, I'm talking about the time that she had the pee-pee, not before whatever had transpired prior to that. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about before he was unalive. What evidence do you have to suggest that she was in her car and then got out the car with the pee-pee and she was not already standing outside of her car?
Standing outside the car with the pew-pew, I think that would be worse for her case if he didn't approach yet.
Now, did y'all hear that? I want y'all to pay attention. Now, he literally said that she was in her car, okay, like she was sitting in her car waiting on him, right? Then when they asked him, how did he know that she was sitting in the car waiting or whatever, then he says that, oh, well, I said if I get more information. Well, if you don't know what the hell you're talking about, shut up. Okay, but now he says it would be even worse if she was outside of the car. So it's bad if she's in the car and bad if she's out. So what the hell is she supposed to do? Just not exist in his space?
You said that it can't be self-defense if she was sitting in her car then got out with the pee-pee. Now you're saying it'll be worse for her if she was already outside of her car with the pee-pee. So it's a catch-22. Whatever she was doing, it was wrong regardless. Is that what you're saying?
No. Norflex.
No.
I can't hear him. I'm sorry. I'm not sure if anyone else can, but I can't.
No, it's breaking up.
Ancestors. They tired of hearing the lies. They tired of people coming up here spreading misinformation that they just heard on a live instead of actual news articles or reports and videos. They're just going by what people are spewing, and this is the problem. They did this with Carmelo Anthony's case.
This is how you know these MAGA minions are so damn stupid. Okay, they want to get on these panels. They want to get in people's comment sections. They want to come and troll your pages and all of this and try to tell you their stance when they haven't even done a bit of darn research. Half the time, they haven't even watched the full video, which is only like 2.5 minutes long, if that. Second of all, they haven't watched news reports. They haven't read one darn article. Now, we know they haven't read. If you're too lazy to at least watch a news report, then you sure as hell didn't read an article. Okay, so they come on here not even knowing what they're talking about. All they know is that some black woman pulled a gun and killed this white man, okay, in a parking lot because they were arguing about a parking space. Okay, so automatically the black woman's in the wrong. I don't need any facts. I don't need to watch what the news reporters say. I don't need to read any articles. All I need to know is that she killed this white man and she's wrong for it and somebody needs to pay. That's how they feel.
They do this all the time. They make up lies to spread into another panel that's not factual. You just made up something that you said you heard on another live that she started it. And there's nothing going around that states that.
She's just a lying piece of shit.
No.
Thing that
I gave in. I stated if in fact she did start it. I gave you a scenario. I said if that is the scenario, then that's what I feel. If the scenario changes and we get more information, I could change my mind.
Why does it have to be that scenario, though? How is it that he has to look at it as if she's likely the one who initiated it? Now, he came on here saying that with his whole chest, like he knew for a fact she initiated it. Okay, that's what he did. But now, my thing is, how come it never occurred to him that maybe the man started it? Okay? You didn't see the video of him walking towards her, Brad?
You didn't say that.
That's
you
why I gave you very loosely. If this isn't,
you said no, Ryder. You said you heard. You heard. You didn't. You. That's not what you said. You said you heard as if you had evidence, and you heard somebody gave you evidence that she started it. They said that she started it. That's what you said.
But just
Ma'am, I made it very clear that.
So I did that because your fave, he did state, in all fairness, he did state that if he get more information that his stance would change. He gave us the reason why he's where he is right now. So that's that part. And you know, y'all can finish y'all little, not little, but y'all can finish y'all dialogue, but we do have to give respect to what it is that he said in terms of being open to change his mind if he gets new information.
He's not going to change his mind if he gets new information. That's just a lie he's telling. Now, with that being said,
I appreciate.
let me look at this comment here about Uber cover. I think that's what it says. It's kind of covered up from what I have on the screen. But says, but if FBA use the same hate language like these racists, what makes FBA different? Well, we don't use the same Uber cow 21. Okay, Uber cow. Well, Uber cow, we don't use hateful language, beloved. And I saw earlier you put a comment up there about Phil Scott's channel. You said that you're Haitian and that you never had a problem with FBA, but then Phil Scott posted something about two Haitians, and then you were reading the comments. Well, let me just say this, beloved. Phil Scott's channel has nothing to do with this channel, and I don't know what he said over there, but what I'll tell you is this. I have talked about the Haitians on here accusing us of being gleeful and joyous that they're being deported and losing their TPS. Now, we never said that. Now, maybe some people did, but not on this channel did we ever express joy or pleasure, okay, from Black and brown people being kicked out of the country, specifically Black people, okay, people who look like us. We've never expressed joy about that, and we have not been talking greasy about the Haitians. Now, mind you, I did show several videos of Haitians talking greasy about us. Okay, and we still haven't forgotten about that one who was on a African American podcast or FBA podcast and called them dirty Black Americans. Okay, so there's that. We don't use hateful language. We're over here spitting the facts and giving our opinions, and we have not said any of the things that these people, these Karens and Kens, we haven't said anything that they say. Okay? At the end of the day, it just seems like some of y'all just want to be mad at us just because you can. Because we don't have a darn thing to do with anybody losing TPS. We don't have a darn thing to do with anything that Trump and his nefarious low-down administration has said or done. Okay? We're victims of a white supremacist or wanton supremacist system just like the rest of you. Okay? So we're not over here spewing hatred, not on this channel. Now, I don't know what Phil Scott said that got you upset, but we haven't said that over here. Okay? So let's continue.
That shout out to you, Royal, for pointing that out. But I'm still unclear on one thing that he said. He was saying that he don't believe it's self-defense because she was in her car, and then she got out with the pew when he approached her. And then I asked him what evidence he have. He said, well, it's even worse. He did say he didn't have evidence for that, but he said it's worse if she was already outside her car and then he approached her and then she went and got her pew. So I'm trying to figure out under what circumstance can she ever defend herself? Because it appears to me as a catch-22. It's like there is no win for her. Under any circumstances, she would be in the right to defend herself. Even though the fact that she warned him, even the fact that she backed up. So I'm confused about that. I'm unclear as to how she should go about doing it.
So in my mind, or not even in my mind, but to put all of that to rest, the stand your ground or self-defense laws do not require that you are not the quote-unquote person who started the interaction. It also states or mentions that you have to disengage or attempt to disengage, which she did by walking backwards and telling him to go away. So even if she was quote unquote in the wrong for getting out of the car, even if she was quote unquote wrong for having the pew, she disengaged by backpedaling and or walking backwards and telling him to go away so she didn't have to use the pew. So that, when we're not dealing with the laws, when we're not dealing with the statutes, we're dealing strictly with what people feel in their heart. It's simple as that. People are thinking with their hearts. They're not looking into what laws support their stance or this, that, or the third thing.
Willie Will says Tom Homan for president or VP. Self-deport now. I'm sorry. Are you trolling? Because you must be MAGA to be talking about Tom Homan for president or vice president. Okay, if you're trolling, please sit down somewhere. Okay, and if you're MAGA, you about to get blocked. Because I don't fool with MAGA and don't give a crap about them. Okay, with that being said. Now, if you're a black person trying to be funny, that's one thing, but I doubt that because there's nothing funny about Tom Homan, okay, being called the president or the vice president or even wanting him to be such. But let's continue.
So that should put that to bed, because it's not only, she started it, woo, woo, woo. She also disengaged, even if by your own account, she did quote unquote start it, and not you nor, but his own account. If she started it, her backpedaling, or not necessarily backpedaling, but walking backwards and telling him to go away was her attempt to disengage from the altercation.
Yeah, shout out to you for that. I think hosts, we need the likes to go up to 200K.
I think the going in for the pew
and go away or leave or something like that. So because George Zimmerman chased that young man and created the struggle, he was still, or excuse me, at that moment he was the aggressor. When he decided to retreat and the young man did not respect his retreating, then the position of the aggressor shifted at that point. So wouldn't this be the same thing with the position of the aggressor shifting because she was retreating in that moment?
Very possible. And I guess it's just how they're going to break down the case. But if by Florida law, I think the beginning was.
This is another male Karen, you guys. It's not the same one. This is a whole nother one with the same talking points. Pay attention.
Illegal as of retreating for the pew pew and coming back pretty much to the situation, which I know is all right there in the little parking lot. I think that's what's going to change things. But who knows? It may go just like the other case did. They're going to have to look at the entire case. And I think a lot of the audio, if we can get the audio of it, I think that's going to be a lot to the case.
Real quick, I just need to.
And I'm not sure about the other case. I haven't looked into the other case.
What other case are we? Zimmerman?
The Zimmerman, yeah. Okay. I've never looked into that.
He's a damn lie. Who hasn't looked into George Zimmerman and Trayvon Martin? That was one of the biggest cases. Like, miss me with it. This is another thing they do. When you have them on these panels and you start bringing up another case that's similar to the one that's being discussed, only in the other case, it's the reverse, where it's basically a white person doing the same thing, okay? Then they'll say, oh, I don't really know about that case. I'm not familiar with it. I haven't looked into it. This is what they always say. You mean to tell me he's never heard about George Zimmerman and Trayvon Martin? Of course he has. Of course he has. Okay, that's a notorious case. So he could sit down somewhere. All right, but he's sitting there saying, I haven't looked into the other case. I never looked into it. Sure, you didn't. Okay, that's because he doesn't want to make a comparison between the two because he thinks that George Zimmerman absolutely acted in self-defense. He thinks that what George Zimmerman did was in fact self-defense, but not what this woman did. Okay, that's what that is.
Got you. So what you're 252? What you're saying? So what are you taking issue with? So you're taking issue with the fact that you said she was outside of the car and went back to the car to get the pew.
Yes, Yeah, so from what I looked up, and this is just looking on the internet and trying to figure out what's what, but the retreating back, so let's say if you had the altercation, to retreat back and to get a pew pew and to bring it back into that same situation, um the
What do you mean
self-defense
back
makes.
into? Wait a minute. Where was he at during this time? Though? What do you mean back into? Because isn't this all taking place in the same area? Like I
Yeah, in
don't.
the same parking lot. Yep. So the
Not even
moment
the same
that,
parking lot, but in the same general. Like I'm saying, weren't they? He was already where she was. No.
so I think the way they're going to look at it, the moment that they argued whatnot over the parking spot, she got the spot, he'd walked in, to Wally World. I think the moment that it was separated, which I guess would have been the de-escalation, and I think the lady going back to get the pew pew, and as the man's coming back out, um, the pew pew is not de-escalating the situation. If anything, it would be bringing a bigger escalation to the situation. But
So wait. But wait. So you're talking about getting the pew pew as he's returning to approach her. No.
well, I believe that she probably already had it out before he'd returned. I don't think it was like he'd returned and then she felt the obligation to
No, I'm
run
not
back to
saying
his
that. Like
car.
he was full. I'm saying, but she knew he was on his way back to approach her. Is that not? Is that not what we're talking about here?
I mean, we could say that she knew that he was coming back. And this is just speculation too. I don't know if it's true. I heard that his car was further down in the lot than she was to the store.
Now he's just lying and making up stuff. This is what they do. They say, I heard. When you hear them saying, I heard, or the streets are saying, they're lying. They're just making up some BS. Nobody told them jack.
Now, I don't know what was said. I don't know why. Me personally, would I approach that lady? No. There's no doubt in my mind. But it's just like this. Let's say if he did have a pew pew on him, the moment that the escalation was happening, I mean, it could have went terribly bad. The brandishing of the pew pew, I don't think was the best idea. I think that escalated it into what it possibly was. Who knows? The man might not been mentally stable. I mean, honestly, you really think about it.
Don't nobody give a damn if he was mentally stable or not. That doesn't have anything to do with someone fearing for their safety. I'm not going to sit there in a split second decision and say to myself, oh, maybe this person's mentally unstable. Something's wrong with them, but I'm not there to diagnose as to what or why. Okay, I'm just going to defend myself. Please.
Who would be too stable to walk up to somebody with a gun? Not probably
Pew
too many
pew.
people. Or sorry. But yeah, I mean, he's
Yes, Vince,
elderly,
that's me.
62. Who knows? He might have been off his rocker. But it's like the videos. I watched a few when it first happened, and we got to see a lot more of the video. But now you get up
All right,
there, and
hold that thought. Let me just.
Okay, so that's it right there. Let me just tell you all something.
It's disgusting.
Let me just tell you all something. First of all, these people are something else. Like I said, they keep moving the goalpost. Okay, they have to come up with all these justifications for when it's one of them, and then try to come up with all these reasons to blame the black person. Okay, that's just what they do. They really don't want black people. And then I want you to pay attention to the male Karen who said that it's going to set precedent. Precedents. That's what he called it. He meant precedent. But he said it's going to set precedent. What is he talking about? There's already been a case that set precedent. That's why they have stand your ground laws. Is he serious? Like, this is how you know these people are idiots. Okay, this is how you know they're complete idiots. And this is how you know they don't know what the hell they're talking about when they get on here. All they want to do is rage bait and go against the grain and try to just, kill the narrative, okay, and make it into one that they can live with. Okay, please. That's all it is. But hold on. Hold on. Let's talk about Florida stand your ground laws real quick. And now here's the thing. He's saying something about setting precedent, right? Okay, modern stand your ground laws are codified by state legislatures, most famously started in Florida in 2005. Okay, so what's he talking about? However, the foundational legal precedent establishing that individuals do not have a duty to retreat outside their homes stems from two landmark U.S. Supreme Court decisions. The first one is Beard versus United States, which happened in 1895. But he's talking about setting a precedent, not precedent. Okay, the court ruled that a man assailed on his own grounds without provocation is not obliged to retreat. But may stand his ground and defend himself. Then you have the case of Brown versus the United States that happened in 1921. Now, in this case, Justice Oliver Wendell Holmes famously expanded this, declaring that the right to self-defense without retreating applies when a person is in a place that they have a right to be. So they extended it past just your home, your domicile, your residence, into anywhere that you have a right to be, stating that detached reflection cannot be demanded in the presence of an uplifted knife. Okay, since stand your ground principles are governed by individual state statutes rather than a single federal precedent, self-defense immunity varies depending on where you are. Okay, so with that being said, let's talk about Florida, since that's where this all occurred. I'm going to share my screen, and this is from Hunt Law in Tampa. Okay, this is a criminal defense firm. Likes up, everyone, please like and share. Thank you in advance. Now, here's what they say. Florida stand your ground law, deadly force. Okay, and this is from June the 10th, not that long ago. All right, so Florida stand your ground law provides powerful legal protections for individuals who are forced to defend themselves or others. However, these protections are not automatic and they are often misunderstood. To fully understand how self-defense works in Florida, it's important to look at how juries are actually instructed to evaluate these cases. The law surrounding the justifiable use or threatened use of deadly force is detailed, nuanced, and highly fact-specific. So what counts as deadly force? Under Florida law, deadly force is any force likely to cause death or great bodily harm. Great bodily harm means more than minor or trivial injury. It refers to serious, significant harm. Now, this definition applies not only to actually using force, but also to threatening to use deadly force, such as displaying a firearm in a confrontational situation, which is what she did. Now, the state has the burden, not the defendant. Okay, one of the most important aspects of Florida self-defense law is this. The defendant does not have to prove they acted in self-defense. Instead, once self-defense is raised, the burden shifts to the state to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that the defendant's use or threatened use of deadly force was not justified. Okay, this is a critical advantage in criminal defense cases. All right, and that's why they're pressed, because they know darn well the state's likely not going to be able to prove that she didn't fear imminent danger. Now, when is deadly force justified? A person is justified in using or threatening deadly force if they reasonably believe it is necessary to prevent imminent death or great bodily harm, or the imminent commission of a forcible felony such as robbery, burglary, or aggravated assault. She didn't know what he was coming up on her to do. Okay, but he was coming aggressively. Now, this standard has two key components. Subjective belief. The defendant actually believed force was necessary. I believe she did. Objective reasonableness. A reasonable person in the same situation would have felt the same way. Absolutely. Okay, that is absolutely. Now, except for the racist MAGA types, when it's a Black person. Now, importantly, the danger does not have to be real. It only needs to reasonably appear to be real and imminent at the time. So imminent means immediate. Self-defense only applies to immediate, unavoidable threats. A fear of something that might happen later is not enough. The threat must be happening or about to happen at that moment. No duty to retreat. Stand your ground. Okay, Florida law generally does not require a person to retreat, but before using deadly force if they are not engaged in criminal activity, which she wasn't, they are in a place where they have a legal right to be, which she was. Now, if these conditions are met, a person has the right to stand their ground. However, if someone is engaged in criminal activity or is somewhere they're not lawfully allowed to be, like if they broke in someone's home or whatever, okay, the law may impose a duty to retreat, meaning they must use reasonable means to avoid the danger if it can be done safely. Now, the castle doctrine, your home, your ground. Florida law provides even stronger protections inside a dwelling, residence, or occupied vehicle. In these situations, there is no duty to retreat. The law may presume the defendant had a reasonable fear of imminent death or great bodily harm if someone unlawfully and forcibly entered. Now, this is commonly referred to as the castle doctrine. However, this presumption does not apply to in certain situations, such as when the person entering has a legal right to be there, when the person using force is engaged in criminal activity, when the person against whom force is used is a law enforcement officer performing official duties. Now, important limitations on self-defense. Even under stand your ground, deadly force is not justified in every situation. For example, you cannot be the initial aggressor. If you provoke the confrontation, you generally cannot claim self-defense unless you clearly withdraw and the other person continues the attack, which is the case here. He clearly kept coming for her, even though she was withdrawing and retreating. Now, or the force used against you becomes so extreme that deadly force is necessary to prevent serious harm. The second thing is you cannot be committing a forcible felony. Okay, if you're committing or attempting to commit a separate forcible felony at the time, self-defense may not apply. Third, you cannot resist law enforcement generally. A person is not justified in using force to resist an officer performing lawful duties. However, if law enforcement uses excessive force, a person may use reasonable force to defend themselves, but only to the extent necessary. Okay, y'all heard that? Now, the jury must evaluate the circumstances. In every stand your ground case, the jury is instructed to evaluate the circumstances at the time of the incident, whether the fear of danger was reasonable, whether the threat was imminent, the relative physical abilities of the person involved or the people involved. They may also consider prior threats made by the alleged victim, the victim's reputation for violence. Okay, this all was applicable in Carmelo Anthony's case because there was absolutely a reputation for violence with Austin and Hunter. Now, as known, any known history of violent behavior, that too would apply in Carmelo's case. Now, these factors can significantly influence whether a use of force is deemed justified. Okay? Please pay attention. Is deemed justified. So with that all being said, let's continue. So why these cases require experienced defense? Stand your ground cases are rarely straightforward. They often involve conflicting witness accounts, split-second decisions under stress, complex legal standards applied to rapidly unfolding events. A successful self-defense claim requires more than just asserting fear. It requires careful legal strategy, factual development, and persuasive presentation. This is all what Mike Howard didn't do in the case of Carmelo Anthony. Please pay attention. Now, charged with a violent crime, your defense starts here. Okay, we don't need to read all that. But anyway, I just want you all to pay attention because that's the law as it stands in Florida. And according to the law in Florida, it absolutely was self-defense. And she had no duty to retreat, even though she in fact did retreat, backing up away from him, warning him that she would shoot, telling him to get back, and even walking behind other vehicles. Now, he at one point not only was standing directly in front of her car, but he walked around her car trying to come up the back like he was going to try to get her that way. Who knows what his intentions were and what he was thinking? And was he inebriated? Because it looked like he may have stumbled. So the bottom line is he brought this on himself. Okay, and I have questions as to why his daughter, who spoke on him on the news report the other day, why she was estranged from him. And didn't she even say that she didn't know why he did it? Okay, so anyway, with that all being said, I'm going to conclude this broadcast. I want to thank you all for tuning in once again. Okay, please like and share. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Be sure to click that notification bell and click the word all so you're notified each time the Queen Goddess goes live. And as you can see, I'm going to be live again. Okay, moderators, please put the link to the second broadcast that starts at 4 o'clock. Please put that link in the chat. Thank you in advance. Okay. With that all being said, each one teach one. That's how we grow and thrive. Do something productive, constructive, but never destructive. And always remember, beloveds, to keep the Most High first in your lives. Okay? And make sure that you're ready to protect and defend yourselves whenever the need arises, because no one gets to dictate and determine when you feel that you're in imminent danger. Okay? Only you get to decide that. Okay? And it's so interesting that the same people who applaud stand your ground laws and castle doctrine and Second Amendment rights have such a problem, have so much to say, and find it to be so problematic, even the laws themselves, when it comes to us. And here's the thing. There was a guy on X, and I don't remember his name, but there was a guy on X and he was commenting on it or responding to someone's comment about the situation. And he said, well, because there was a bunch of people, white tea people, who were saying that it was not self-defense. And this guy said that it was. But here's how he said it. He was white tea as well, mind you. He said, unfortunately, in Florida, it's so stupid that she didn't have a duty to retreat. And so it was stand your ground. So he basically admitted that it was stand your ground, but he didn't like the fact that he had to admit it. That's why he said, unfortunately, in Florida. And it's so stupid that now it's stupid, but it wasn't stupid when George Zimmerman did it. It wasn't stupid when Derek Chauvin, okay, when he did what he did to George Floyd, and that wasn't even stand your ground. That was just plain cold-blooded murder. But what I'm saying is they felt like that was self-defense. Let them tell it. Okay. And I want y'all to think about this too. Let's think about Ahmaud Arbery. So when Ahmaud Arbery was being chased, right? Now, when they caught up to him, Ahmaud tried to fight for his life as anyone with common sense would. Okay, so he grabbed the weapon and was trying to take it from Travis. Now, Travis and his father, Gregory, I believe is his name, basically said, oh, he attacked Travis, or he tried to take the gun from Travis. Well, of course he did. He was trying to save his own life. But you see how they flipped the narrative and tried to make it like he was nefarious for trying to fight back to save himself? This is what they do. There's no reasoning with people who are irrational. Okay, there's no talking logic or using logic to people that are illogical and nonsensical. It just doesn't work. And quite frankly, these people would never be on a panel that I had, because as soon as they got up there and started talking like that and let me know they're racist, you're out of here. I don't need to hear anything else you have to say unless I'm going to drag you for filth first, and then you can be excused. But other than that, I don't need to hear it, because I don't really care what racist devils think about Black people. I don't really care about their opinions, their views, their thoughts, their ideology. I don't care about any of it, okay, because they're irrelevant. Now, with that all being said, I'm going to conclude the broadcast, and I will see you all at 4 o'clock. Did any of the moderators bother to put the other link in the chat? Let me just go ahead and do that just in case y'all didn't, because I don't see the link in the chat. Hold on, beloveds. Like I said, I'll be back and forth, and we're going to talk about this situation going on with the Asians, because now they're saying that Black people have threatened to destroy their businesses. When did Black people say that, and where's the footage? Because if somebody said it, there should be at least a video or something to substantiate that claim. Okay, but I've not seen a video that says any such thing. All right. Thank you, Vince. I am, beloved. I appreciate you for putting that in the chat. Okay. Now, that being said, I'm going to conclude this broadcast, and I will see you all later. Okay. Enjoy the rest of this beautiful day, beloveds. I will talk to you all again soon. Peace.
Sold all of my skin. God God all in my blood. Kings all in my circle, you touch one of mine and you're done. They show no love for the queen, why you hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans? I got dreams like King Luther, shed blood like Kunta. You ain't helping my people, I ain't got nothing to say to ya. I want all the smoke like hookah. Talking reparations, America won't be great until they give us compensation. I'm like, I'm the hottest right now. That's See right. A bunch of lames out here trying to jock on my style. They be doing too much. I'm the queen, it's too easy. It's like they all at Popeyes, how they be talking so greasy. I just sit back and laugh while these haters get madder. So nefarious how they don't want my pockets with cheddar. I tell them they can do better. These snakes in the grass can leave a bite on your ass, cause y'all be trusting too fast. I got my foot on the gas, other one on they necks. Dropping receipts on haters, you better show some respect. I'm never facing regrets, we only facing the threats. Running through every challenge like a relay, break no sweat. It's a cold game, so I got that blanket with me. Now that my people awaken, ain't no going to sleep. I do not play by my piece, this time I'm playing for keeps. You talking slick, but when I see you like them ends, we gon' meet. And I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood. Kings all in my circle, you touch one of mine and you done. They show no love for the queen, why they hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans and I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood. Kings all in my circle, you touch one of mine and you done. They show no love for the queen, why they hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans and I got